of men. What are some of the signs of women
Like
peacock?
imagine everybody just spreading when they told my real dad.
It's gonna be my ears. You know what I'm saying?
Physical
Ears,
shit.
like, man,
So you guys want men who are emotional?
Yes, absolutely.
I-
It's so hot. Emotions
yeah.
are so hot. Like,
Yeah?
oh my god.
Okay.
Like, be a human being, like, oh, so hot.
Be in tune with your emotions, yes.
Yeah.
Even in the gay community, like anti-feminism, I want to say, because I have noticed a lot, especially in online spaces, that femme guys tend to be less desirable,
Why do you think that? Why are they less desirable in your opinion?
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like he never thought about that. Peace, everyone. Welcome back to the Full Notice Podcast. Today, we have a full house, and our boy Cory is back. Shout out to Cory. And, we have very interesting people here. They are from Rutgers University, so shout out to Rutgers for having these great souls on their campus and on their roster, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to just kind of introduce everyone and just give us your name, who you are, what you do, and we'll just start on this side.
I'm Q. I'm a student at Rutgers. I double major in journalism and media and theater. I model in my free time. I'm a creator. I love fashion. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I'm Patricia. My major is ecology. I want to become an animal conservationist and hopefully own my own Animal Planet TV show. I'm also into fashion. I'm an e-board member of a club called Face at Rutgers. So we have a fashion show every semester. So we plan and organize that, which I love. And these fabulous people here are also from the club. And yeah, I just love animals and stuff like that.
Cool. Animals.
Mhm.
I got a lot of questions about animals. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Garcelle. I'm a psychology major. I am also a fashion designer. The goal in life is just to make it in fashion in general. I also model, like Patty said. But yeah, check me out at Garments by Garcelle on Instagram.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm actually from Columbus, Ohio, but I moved here for school just to get out of the area. I major in animal science, and I'm also really into fashion and stuff like that, involved in fashion shows, photo shoots, things like that. So, yeah.
Okay, shout out to you.
Shout out
Thank
to
you for being here.
Yeah, most requested, highly anticipated. Ocean Wavy like the Navy.
The God.
It's the boy. KO, aka the Accountability King. All one word. You can catch me on IG, TikTok, YouTube. Content creator. I do public interviews, as Godbody knows. Got some business with. I have a trucking business. Got some trucks on the road, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Noble, for having me out. By the way, too, before we get started, shout out to Chris in the back. Shout out to D in the back. This studio setup is crazy, brother.
I appreciate it.
So, for anybody who needs to network or you need to get, your content creation or whatever you want to get out, you need to highlight this man, hit him in his DMs because the boy's not playing.
Thank you.
So, yeah, let's get it.
Sure. All right, guys. So, we have a diverse panel, and our special guest, he has a niche, and his niche is really helping men attain success, become successful in general. And part of that success is how to have their mental clarity, have relationships, and have women like them, right? I think a lot of times, especially in today's day and age, women just don't like men anymore. And he's pretty much a master at not having that happen to men. It's different than what women may think. For men, things work. We get yelled at, and it kind of builds us in a specific way. Women don't like getting yelled at. I personally, if I'm working out, yell at me. Make me a better person, make me a better man. That's just kind of how for dudes who, go to the military, you get yelled at. You go, you're playing sports, you're getting yelled at. So he yells at men in a positive way, to become better men and do better for themselves. So our conversation today is going to be geared and based on, and it's not just going to be that. We can talk about aliens, which I love talking about, but I definitely want to tap into that. I want to know what's going on these college campuses. I want to know what your experiences are in dating. So I'm going to start on this side, and I just want to ask you, what are your, what's dating like for you, and how has it been?
Dating for me has definitely been a roller coaster, to say the least. Like, it has not been anything that's a linear process. I've had some absolutely terrible relationships with a lot of controlling and manipulation, and there's also been relationships where it was super healthy and things just didn't work out in the end. But all I can really say about the relationships I've been in is that, like, every relationship was just kind of like a learning experience, even if it was bad or good. That's kind of just how I take the past relationships I've experienced. Like, it could have been a terrible relationship where it was just, toxic, controlling, bad situation where I felt like I lost myself. But now I know how to approach the next situation.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have both parents in the house?
I don't know. I just have my mom.
Okay. Cory, what are your thoughts?
Based on what she said, or just
based on what she said.
I think that what she said is not really out of the norm, especially for most women.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
19.
All right, so she's 19. So she's basically, I would say, like, and this is controversial. You could hate me, you could love me, whatever. But I would usually say, like, a woman from like 18 to like 26, 27 is like prime time.
Mm-hmm.
So she's basically in her prime or getting there. So I don't think a lot of like what she just stated is false. I think a lot of girls in her position at that age would probably have the same response.
She had said 19. She's 19 years old, right? And has already been in a lot of toxic relationships. What is a lot of toxic relationships? What is toxic about relationships you've been on?
Just controlling. Like, I guess.
Is it controlling or is it boundaries?
I mean, I definitely can say that I was really young when I experienced something like that. And I think that I didn't understand how important it was to establish boundaries. I can say that. I didn't know how to establish boundaries. But
I'm asking specifically for your ex. Was he controlling or was he establishing boundaries?
He was controlling, yeah.
Give me an example of that. Because women conflate the two. Like a man may say, don't wear this, and a woman may interpret that as being controlling, where it may, in fact, just be him having some boundaries.
Yeah. I understand what you mean. I thought he was controlling in the sense of, like, he didn't allow me to have a lot of the friends that I wanted to hang around. He got very jealous of me hanging around other friends. And I don't mean men, I mean everyone. Even some of my female friends, he didn't like me being around. If he didn't like them, I couldn't hang out with them. And it was kind of like a make or break situation. Oh, if you don't drop them, then you can't have me. And it put me in a very challenging situation. And I also say manipulative, because if I didn't listen to him, he would start bawling.
Like him crying?
Yeah, like crying.
Wait,
so
I gotta ask, why do you think he was like, you can't talk to this friend or that? Like, personally, why do you think he would say something like that?
I'm not really sure why. Like, honestly, I think he just didn't really like them, and also, like, if I was spending time with them, that could have been time I was spending with him. So I think that was the thing. But yeah.
Okay. We're gonna keep it moving, but we're gonna get into that because I have a lot of
word.
Yeah, there's a lot to dissect there. I'm gonna probe at that. How about you? What's going on with you and your relationships?
I don't know. For me, currently, I'm just trying to, like, decenter, man. I'm trying to
hold that. Wait 1 second. Chris, the noise gate on her mic is a bit strong. If we can.
Hello.
See how it just cut off right there?
Yeah. Yep. I feel like it's, I don't know.
Yeah,
Cutting out a little bit.
The noise gate. Just keep talking, and we'll be
Okay.
able to pick it up. So yeah, you can go ahead and tell us about your relationships.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I'm just personally trying to decenter men in my life. I'm trying to just work on myself because I think in the past I've definitely, I don't know. I'm like a lover girl. I'm like very, I believe in the idea of like soulmates and stuff like that. So, you know, I've always been like looking for like guys and like, I guess male validation, which just comes from being like a young person. Like you want that validation from someone romantically, but I think just growing, maturing means for me, like I don't need a man in my life. I need, you know, like my fashion, my career, my school, my friends. Like there's just so much more out there than dating. And honestly, yeah, dating hasn't been the best for me, so it's like why even bother?
Okay, so right now you're currently not looking for a relationship.
I wouldn't say that I'm not, but I'm not on dating apps. So I haven't been on dating apps since October of last year.
Instagram's a dating app.
Instagram's the biggest.
It's the biggest dating app.
Maybe for men, but not for me. I don't know. I don't slide into guys like DMs.
No,
or
you
anything
wouldn't,
like
but
that.
guys slide into your
They
app.
do. Oh, trust they
So
do.
you have-
but I don't.
You have the option of choosing which guy you kind of want to date if you wanted to date.
I guess so, but
So
I
it's a
don't
dating
really
app.
entertain them. Honestly, I think if a guy's contacting me through Instagram, I'm a little turned off.
Really?
I'd-
How else would he contact you? He sees a
In
beautiful-
person,
So he should stalk
Be
you and
brave.
then find you on campus or something.
I think it's also just like if you're finding me through Instagram, it's because you're looking at my pictures, you're admiring me for my looks, and like that is great. I love that, but I want to meet someone like in person who like knows my personality, who like actually knows me versus like, oh wow, she's pretty. Let me hit that. Like, nah.
Now hold on, wait, I have a quick question.
Okay.
What if I don't know what your type is. I'm just gonna throw random names out there. But what if like a Drake or a Future or a Bad Bunny was in your DMs? Would you still feel the same?
Like celebrity.
If Bad Bunny hit you up right now, and was like, I want to take you out. How like what type of temperature would you be on?
I mean, that's Bad Bunny. Like I gotta get my money. I gotta be spoiled by that man. You know what I mean? I'm not even
I
that
love
attracted to Bad Bunny. But
I
like,
love where this is going. You
But
understand?
wait,
I love where this
but
is
wait,
going.
real quick, Rod. You see, like based off her response, women break rules for certain type of men.
Yes, I know. They break them.
I mean, he has a lot of money,
Okay.
and I got a network, like y'all said. Like, come on.
We're gonna dig into that.
Okay.
I have a lot of questions.
I agree with you, girl. Like,
Oh, you too?
yes.
You agree with that too?
Yes.
All right, that's what's
I
up.
can't lie.
Go ahead, and tell us about your dating experiences. Cause look at me, I'm pouring shots over here because I'm gonna be stressed in a minute.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We ain't gonna gas. We're not gonna promote them, but that is fire. Cause I had some of that.
Oh, my
last time I
brother,
was here.
please, by all means, I literally got this out for you.
That's
So,
fire. Yeah.
If if you want to grab your man's a drink, that would be awesome. Just the cup is right there, literally, like behind you. Boom. All right, go ahead. You could go. You can talk. Don't worry about us.
Well, recently I got out of like a situationship because I can't really call it a relationship. Like he got back together with his ex-girlfriend, so I was pretty much like a placeholder, and it was very.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Did you leave him or did he leave you?
He left me.
That's very rare for men to do that.
So-
What'd you do?
I actually was really good to him. He was bipolar, and also had ADHD, but that he was like severe. It's not like a bad thing to have ADHD, but he was like severe, and he was not a good person to me mentally.
Mhm.
I was actually really helpful and there for him, even if he would like get really mad at me over the most like bizarre things. Like I would still be like, look, I know that it's like your bipolarness, like you're going through a lot right now, like you're overthinking, it's okay, I'm here for you. But I really didn't like he was still in love with his ex, and I didn't love myself enough at the time to leave him earlier. I do believe that I was immature in the fact that I should have left that situation far long ago, because he showed me multiple times that he was still interested in his ex, but they like shouldn't be together because they were in a toxic relationship, like cheated on each other multiple times. Like he was not a good boyfriend to her, and he even admitted that, like, he was mentally just not a good person to her. And she came back because she realized that I was in his life, and she didn't like that because she was jealous of me, because I can't lie, like, I am prettier than her. Like, I can't. And he was not, like, the best looking, but I really liked his personality.
So hold on, why do you choose her over you? Like, what's up with that?
I think it's just because that was his ex-girlfriend. Like, he was very much in love with her, and they had that sort of connection, and I feel
was
like
she less of a headache?
no, actually,
She's more of a headache, and he still chose her.
He actually FaceTimed me recently because he was like, "Oh yeah, you're much more understanding," and I was like, "But you're gonna go back to her right now?" And he was like, "Yeah, I am. I shouldn't be FaceTiming you." And I was like, "I know that." Like, he knows that, like, he wants what he can't have, and he wants the both of us, but he would rather have her instead, just because they had years of life together.
And do you think that if you guys were in a like open relationship, would that be something you consider if that's a guy you like?
I personally, I'm like, my man is my man. Like, I don't really like to share, like, what I have. So I personally wouldn't do an open relationship because I'm also trying to work on myself. Like, I've always wanted the validation of men. It's probably because it's like I didn't lose my father, but I kind of like I grew up like with my mom, and like my dad was like an alcoholic and drug addict, and so it's like I very much didn't have that male validation or like my father to begin with. So my life now, it's like I've always felt like I needed to, and I've always like to be honest, like there wasn't really that much good about him, but I just wanted him to choose me. And I feel like a lot of girls these day and age, like, we just want to feel chosen, and that even if we don't want them, we still just want the fact that we want to be chosen. And that is like a toxic trait from girls, but I feel like in our age, like, we do just want to be the chosen one. And with him, it's like I feel like even if he chose me, I wouldn't want a relationship with him just because of the way that he treated me. But I wanted to feel chosen, so I was more hurt by that fact. And it's not good of me, but I do know that a lot of girls, like, they just want to be number one. Like, they just want to be chosen.
Okay. It's a lot going on over there.
Yes.
A lot going on. We're gonna get to you for sure. How about you, brother? What's going on, man? Tell us.
So for me right now, the dating life is dry. I'm not even gonna lie. It's dry. It's dry. A big part of it for me has to do with the fact that I was very involved with hookup culture for like a while. So I'm really learning.
What is hookup culture? Just
like
meat and sex?
Non-committal stuff. Really non-committal stuff. But I'm learning. I'm trying myself. I'm trying to break away from that, and I'm learning a lot about myself outside of like who I am sexually and who I want to be romantically in a relationship with someone.
Feels like you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to inner peace. You been through some shit?
You can say that, yeah.
Okay, good.
Wait, so why for you? Why is the dating scene dry? Why would you say that for you personally?
I think for me, especially in my community, hookup culture is very prevalent, and a lot of people really just want something quick without any sort of commitment.
It's a bunch of guys.
Yeah,
that's
like,
why. That's what men want.
Yeah,
but wait, hold on.
Guys are horny.
Do you know the root of that? As a gay man, do you know the root of that?
Vaguely.
It's because whether gay, straight, us as men, we don't play games. We don't play games like women do.
We want to get to the point.
I'm not gonna say I disagree with that, because like me personally, I found that it's really easy to kind of do stuff with guys solely because, in my experience at least, I can just be more blunt and upfront.
Right.
You know? But like,
have you ever been with girls too? Like, have you tried courting women? No. Oh.
I have attraction to women, but I've never like dated. I've never dated anyone. First of all, I've never dated anyone, but I don't know. I've had more experiences with guys.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I can see how hookup culture, I mean, in that community would be like a thing because it's all dudes, right? And men want sex. I don't think it's in her case, the guy that she was with, he wanted both of them. And I mean, he still wants both of them. He's trying to figure out a way how can he still, have them both. And it's just unfortunate that he doesn't. I wish the best for him, personally. I wish the best for him.
Me too.
So yeah, I mean, Cory, let's get a little, let's get into the debate part of it. I know there's a lot of things that these beautiful ladies have said that you have a lot of insight in, and we've talked about certain things, and this wonderful woman here, she's focused on her spirituality and herself, and she's on her prime. She doesn't even really think Instagram's a dating platform for real.
It's not.
So it's not. So imagine where her mind is at, where she's getting thousands of DMs from men who want to have sex with her and court her. Some dudes are probably really in love with her. I'm sure that the pictures she's posting aren't she's not at church. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they're probably tempting men and all these other things. So what do you have to say with regards to that? Like, what's up with that?
I'm not really mad at her response because she's a girl, a woman in position where men are coming to her. So of course she's gonna say, "Oh, Instagram's not a dating app," but to be honest with you, Instagram is the biggest dating app in the world. It's bigger than Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, all of that.
Yep, that's irrefutable. That's a fact.
Social proof is a real thing because
she'll give it up for Drake.
You feel me? Her answer reflects everything. Earlier, right now, she said, if a guy hits me up, I don't want to quote what she said, but basically, like, you're not into that. But then I asked her, well, what if Bad Bunny, Drake, Future, whoever's her celebrity crush, then it's like, you'll break rules.
He has access to her,
right,
but not the regular guys that are really
exactly
approaching. So she agreed with that. What's your name, by the way?
I'm Patricia.
Patricia.
Garcelle.
I mean, I know your name.
Sarah.
Okay, Patricia, Sarah.
Q.
All right, that's easy. Q. All right, so Patricia is in agreement with her, and the question is, do you think that it's fair for the average man to have to be subjected, because it sucks for men who have no access to a beautiful woman, right? But yet they can try and court you guys and send you messages and hit you up and dream. But here comes Bad Bunny and he's like, just like, hey, you both come with me. We're going to go and do whatever. And you're just open to that. How do you guys think men feel?
Well, I agree but disagree at the same time.
That's wild.
Because with me, it's like, okay, if Bad Bunny's going to take me on like a trip to like Cancun, I'm going. But I'm not, for me personally, I don't know if I would do any sexual stuff.
Wait. Let's be realistic.
That's cap.
With me, I wouldn't, just because I've been in a lot of bad situations.
Hold on, but let's keep it grounded. Let's be realistic and honest. If Chris Brown, right? Okay, not Chris Brown.
Nah, Chris Brown's good. Look. You notice how you said that they all reacted. Chris Brown is good.
It's Chris Brown.
It's Chris Brown.
So all right. Okay, who your celebrity crush? Do you have any?
Yes, I do.
Who?
Okay. I mean, I listen to like K-pop, so it would be like one of the K-pop idols, or it would be or it would be, I forgot his name. He has the girl,
what's he from?
He's, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Like he sings not singing in there, like he's very like an R&B artist. Like he has like soulful. He did like a music video with Zendaya.
I feel like I know who
Oh, Versace on the floor, like that song.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so that guy,
song. You know that song.
All right, so that guy. All right, let's call him Guy A.
Guy A, yes.
So Guy A comes here, and you'll go with Guy A. Why?
I think mostly, I do think it's because it's like of his fame, and it's like,
Status.
yeah, it is. I do believe it is status, and I do think it can be unfair I do think it is unfair for some men to, like, if they have a low status, it is more difficult for guys to get with girls if they have low status, because girls our age and girls now, we want someone who has higher status because we want to be taken care of. At least for me, I want to be taken care of. So
Now
yeah.
you do realize that it's you and every other girl. Like, you guys are in competition for guy A. You guys realize that? You know that? Whereas if you were in your town and you had just the guys that were available to you in your town, then perhaps you just pick the guy that chose you from your town. But now, since you have Instagram, guy A can hit you guys both up. And now what happens to the guy that would have been with you or you? Now that guy has no one to be with because you chose to be a fling for guy A rather than a wife for guy B.
I mean, personally for me, it's like, if I was like really, really, because I'm also like a lover girl, like if I'm like in love with somebody, like,
we're not talking about love. We just literally said guy A came through, said you come with me, we're out. And you said, yeah, I would take a trip.
No, yeah.
And then not only are you taking the trip, but you are going to have sex with guy A. He's flying. You're going with him for you. Like, that's what he wants out of you, and you do know that, right? Guy A is gonna come, and that's what he wants is sex.
Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, real quick. I had to interject, but as a woman, like, we gotta be real. Like, you can't expect, like, or like if a guy's flying you out, you already know what it is. Or if he's offering to fly you out, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? But most girls know what it is. Like, if Drake is in your, because I know girls personally, and I've seen their DMs, and Drake and Future is in their DMs, and they're asking to fly them out. They already know what time it is. So,
I do have to say, like, I might know, but doesn't mean that I'm gonna let him know that, like I can't lie, like, I'm gonna manipulate and I'm going to get that trip and not give him anything. I can't lie, because it's like, it's my own comfortability level and I want a free trip. Like, I do. So I'm not gonna, I feel like that trip isn't, if it's in the context and he says, I'm using you for this, then I would say no. But he just said, oh, like, as you guys said, he just said, oh, a trip. That, in that context, he's not saying he wants to do anything physical with me. So technically, I'm going on a free trip, and
No, he's making it abundantly clear. He's in the message. Let's say he messaged you. It says, "I think you're sexy. I'd love to fuck." In capital, all capital letters.
okay.
No shame behind his game. You're the most beautiful girl I've seen all day, and I wanna fuck, and I want you to come with me. I'm going to Atlanta for whatever music video, and I want you there, and I want you next to me, and I want you to spend the weekend with me. What are you gonna do?
That's a tough situation, because it's like, it honestly depends on where I'm at in life, because, like,
No, this is right now.
right now, where
He's
I'm at in life
saying right now and he's gonna take you shopping. He said he's gonna take you shopping.
I mean, like, right now, I feel like,
Why not?
yeah, why not?
It's an experience, right?
It's an experience right now.
Okay, but let's like, turn this. If Kim Kardashian was in your DMs and she was like, whatever, I want a piece of that, I'm gonna fly you out to, I don't know, Hawaii or something, are you taking that? You're not saying no. Like, let's be honest, you're not saying no.
Listen,
to Kim Kardashian.
Hold on, wait, yo, listen.
Okay.
Let me give you like a thing. If you told me that, I'm not saying no.
Facts.
Right? And you're nowhere near Kim Kardashian. So it's any girl. For men, it's like, what are you saying? Men want sex. Like, you're gonna give me sex? What? Yes, let's do it right now. Whereas for women, there's a chase behind that. There's like, women are reserving their sex. It's not, you could get sex from anyone. So it's like, there's a meaning behind sex for you, there's no meaning behind us having sex for me. It's just sex. So if Kim Kardashian is giving me sex, it's just sex for me. For her, she's taking the L because she's getting another body.
Facts.
For me, I'm taking the dub because I just got another body.
Facts.
So it's just the difference.
And
So,
listen,
gender
I
roles.
love how she tried to switch that, but one thing I will say is that men and women are very different. Women, you guys fuck who you want.
Literally.
Men, we fuck who we can. Okay, so women, you guys hold the keys to sex. I can't have sex with you unless you consent of it, or else what? It's rape. It's a crime. I'm saying rape because YouTube purposes.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a crime. So women, you guys, whoever you want, you're gonna get. And for us, it's like whoever wants us, we get. So I respect the question, but it's two different levels. Because just like how Ross said, like, it doesn't have to be Kim Kardashian. If you're in my DMs and I find you attractive,
you're gonna it's game time.
that's a no-brainer.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's game time. For and I don't know if you guys believe this or not, but men all cheat. I mean, you're not gonna find a guy who's gonna be faithful. That's like a mythical unicorn thing that's not real. You understand? And I think it's 2024, and women should, at this point, understand that truth. You know, there are situations where a man may not entertain women or may not go after women. Most times, what women don't seem to realize is a lot of times those guys have low testosterone. They have a bad libido. They have, there are other circumstances that make men not want to pursue women. But a normal, functioning man, especially a younger man, he's going to pursue women. It's just in your nature as a man.
So you think it's okay to cheat?
Who said that? You said that?
Yeah.
Do I think it's okay to cheat?
Yeah.
I don't think it's cheating. I don't think it's okay to deceive women. I think men should tell women that they're going to have other women. So therefore it wouldn't be cheating. Just be honest with women. I think men need to just have the balls to tell women the truth. So, and to answer your question, no, I don't think it's okay for men to cheat. Yes, men are going to cheat no matter what. So I think women at this point should respect men for trying at least to coddle your emotions so that you don't feel bad when he is cheating, because it's going to happen.
Okay.
And real quick, to piggyback off what I said, to be honest with you, there's only a certain amount of men, like select men that can actually do that, like that can actually like explore that option.
Right.
Not most men can't.
Most men that are sliding in her DMs have absolutely no choice.
Right.
But Drake does. Like,
Right.
Who the hell is Drake? If Drake was in a room, he goes to the bathroom. Like, have you guys been around celebrities by any chance? Because I think, have you guys not? Well, let me.
Minor ones.
All right. Well, I've been around celebrities, celebrities that we all know, and these people's farts stink. You know what I'm saying? They are regular people.
Regular.
They are normal people. So the fact that people idolize and women would be willing to give what they have to offer to somebody that they don't even know, but just because of who they are, their name, whatever they plaster on the wall, that's kind of wild for me personally. I just think it's wild. But
I mean, it's all about the resources. Like, you're not gonna not take advantage of that. If Drake comes up to me and is like, "Hey, I want you to be in my music video," like, of course I'm gonna say yes. But if some SoundCloud
under the
rapper,
condition of you're gonna have to blow him
no,
at that point,
if it's a respectful thing, like if any
not
celebrity is
doing
coming
that.
up to me, if any female celebrity is coming up to me and is like, "Hey, I want you,"
Yeah, no, we're not talking about female. We're speaking about from a sexual context. He
why
wants
does it have
to
to be
have
sexual?
because that's where men operate from.
It's always sexual.
Men are not looking at
That's kind
women.
of strange, I have to say.
I don't think that's entirely true, because me personally,
I love this.
I'm friends with Patty.
Mhm.
I'm friends with Garcelle. I'm friends with Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
and I am attracted, like, both sexually, romantically, to women as well as men.
Mm-hmm.
But I have never thought about any three of these in that sort of way.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If Garcelle here says she'd be willing to have sex with you as friends, right? No real strings attached, nothing really emotional. Would you do it?
Q, you gonna try
Okay.
it, Q.
All
Come
right.
on, Q.
Hold on, wait. No, his situation is different because he's part of the community. So
Right.
okay, so you're not attracted to her. Now let me would you have sex with her if she said she would like to have? Yeah. Okay, Chris. I know Chris would do it. Would you do it?
Of course.
Okay. See,
She got my favorite color on too. I love green, by the way.
yeah. You had so there's like you are a minority in the way that you run your life and operate yourself, right? You're a minority in like most men. Most men who are attracted to a woman would engage in that act just based off of attraction.
But when you say that,
Mhm.
I would assume you're also talking about men who are in relationships, men who are especially married,
Yes,
and
all men.
the way you phrase that,
Mhm.
it sounds like you're talking about every man on this planet would do that, and that's just simply not true.
What?
For
Yeah.
example, my dad
Mhm.
has been married to my mom 20 years,
Right.
going on 20 years. Never once has he stepped out on her,
Mhm.
DM'd another girl, sent photos, anything, engaged with another woman other than my mom.
Now wait, real quick, Q. As him, respectfully, him being your father, how do you 100% know that? How do you 100% know that your father hasn't stepped out, or has been tempted to?
or
How do you
goes
know
to a
that?
spot?
I'm not saying he.
Does he
And
watch
listen,
porn?
You could be right. I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm saying as a man, you know this. Whether you're straight, gay, doesn't matter. We have testosterone. We're different from them.
I'm not saying.
Do you masturbate? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We know as men, like, we have a different urge. Our urge
Of
is
course.
that urge that
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that the temptation is there.
right.
I'm just saying for every man, the action isn't there. And then also the same could be said for women, like you said with the Drake Future example. If a woman's in a relationship and like a big name celebrity comes and hits her up, who's to say she's not gonna cheat? The same scenario can be said for both genders, every gender.
So let me ask you this question: do you think a woman who is a virgin, or let's say was a virgin and got married to the man she lost her virginity to, has been in a relationship, let's just say newlyweds, or let's say 3 years, 4 years of marriage, right? Young, beautiful, no children, all that, right? And here comes Drake, right? Do you think that she'd cheat on her man who she's bonded to emotionally, physically connected with, the only man she's ever been with, invested, let's say 4 or 5 years of her life, her youth with, she's, let's say 24, 25. Do you think that girl is more likely to cheat on her husband than flip the scenario, same situation, except the guy?
I never said it was more or less likely for anyone. I was just saying it's still a possibility. That's what I was trying to say with all of that.
That you can't generalize.
Yeah, it's a
You
possibility.
can't generalize.
Well, we
Anyone
have to
can
speak
cheat.
in general. Hold on, we got to speak in generalities, because if we don't, then we would have to individually speak upon everyone's individual life.
But
Right.
you
And
talking
that's
about
very-
but you talking about a woman who's a virgin
Mm-hmm.
is not.
Well,
is
well,
not-
she
that's
wasn't a
not
virgin anymore. She's married to her man now.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not generalizing though,
what do you
because
mean?
you're talking about
I
a
said
specific type of person.
a specific situation,
Yeah,
right? But in general, for women who are in those situations, I'm painting a picture about her specific situation. If she'd be more likely to accept an offer from Drake, or would it be more and accept it, right? Or would it be more likely that a man accepts an offer from, let's say, Kim Kardashian, right? If you were to flip that, same relationship, same love, who's more likely to cheat?
I have a question on that. Like, how do you do you have statistic? Like, cause I'm a
Statistics kind of person.
I'm a statistics kind of person,
Yeah.
so slightly. Like, I believe that there's a lot of like what you guys are saying can be very true, but do you have physical proof behind it? Because then again, it could be something that from your experience, from what you have seen, it's like something that is
okay.
Very
Let me
possible.
ask you a question, just to be clear. What is it that we're saying?
That most or all men cheat.
Mm-hmm.
That, and that girls will cheat on their significant with a high celebrity. Those two.
Okay, so and to be clear, not necessarily cheat on, like, women won't necessarily cheat on their man. I'm saying women, let's say you could be single, but they're more likely to have sex with a celebrity or a man who has high status than with your average Joe. Right? Okay, so have you had men cheat on you, or have you been cheated on?
No.
Have you been cheated on?
How you know that?
Not.
But hold on. How do you really know that? I'm not saying that you haven't, but how do you know that?
How I know that is because, one, I've had my location so I could see where my man was at, and
That's crazy, but that was
I've only
wait, hold on, tell me. Wait, before you go on, the man, like, your man works, right? Or previous exes worked, right?
Yes.
So how do you know that they're not smashing at work? You don't know that. We don't. I used to work in a physical therapy place. And I smashed 5 girls at work.
The reason why I know that, well, one, he worked, but now this is a case that we were doing long distance, and that is there is a chance that
high probability.
There is a high probability, and I can't lie, he could have, but I did know where he was at all the time, and he was in a school where it was mostly guys. He was on the hockey team, so he would go to his class, and then right after class, I would see his schedule.
Oh, she like white boys. She said hockey.
Oh no, he's actually from Beijing, China.
Oh,
so.
okay.
She likes Asians.
Yeah, she said K-pop. She said K-pop.
Yeah. And he went to hockey practice right after, and then right after hockey practice, like, I would see him leave, shower, like, all of that type of stuff. He would FaceTime me and call me, and so now he was the one that broke up with me because he wanted to pursue his hockey career, which he, like, props to him.
You believe that?
I do, like, and I do just because it's like I kind of knew, like, who he was, and I've seen his process, and I've seen, like, I literally have, like, I still have his documentations. Like, I still have, like, every, like, bit, and I do believe that just because it's like I do have, like, hope in everybody. I like to give, like, hope and trust into a lot of people. Now, I don't know. He could have cheated on me. He could have, but I just know that during the relationship, he wasn't. But again, I can't be 100%, but I'm 95. Like, I'm 98, 95. But I know I can't be 100%.
Okay. Have you ever been cheated on?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Have you been cheated on?
Brother, I hope not, but maybe.
Yeah.
I don't. As men, who knows? We don't know.
Who knows? Have you been cheated on?
Haven't dated.
Oh yeah, you haven't dated. Right. Well,
Q, hold on. Tell me, Q, you've never dated ever? Even in elementary school, middle school, dumb shit. Like, oh.
Okay, middle
Come
school.
on.
Middle school. Yes.
That still counts.
Okay, well, yeah. I dated.
your
I
first.
dated girls in middle school.
Okay.
So
He don't count.
So what
that.
happened in middle school? Wait, hold on. What happened in middle school?
no, they just didn't work out.
Did you cheat?
No.
You look like a cheater.
Yeah, he do look
He
like a cheater.
was a player. He was a player.
What does that mean? What does this mean?
Like,
We're just joking.
Stylist, you know.
Is it because I'm pretty? It's probably
Yeah, he got
because
the swag.
You're pretty, so
He
you
got
look like
the
cheat. I
swag.
get it. It makes sense.
Alright. But yeah, point is, on average, men cheat. It's like we could look at life, and we could see that most women get cheated on at some point in their life. And I would go as far as saying, if a man is watching porno, he's cheating because he's envisioning himself with the woman who is in the video. So, or man, whatever, So,
I don't know about that necessarily. I mean, like, as a psychology student, like, people can experience pleasure in different ways. So just because a man is watching porn doesn't mean he's, like, imagining himself, whatever, fucking that girl.
So what is arousing him?
It could be voyeurism. Do you know what voyeurism is? It's like watching people have sex. That's what that is.
Wait, do you feel the same if the roles switched?
It's also a thing of, like, boundaries, and, like, again, it's like we can't be general. We can't be so absolute of like, oh, all da da da, all men are this, all women are that. Da, da, da. Like
If-
we have to be like very specific in relationships. Some people are very like,
If-
men watching porn or women watching porn isn't cheating.
If
Like,
I were
for
to
them,
say,
that's okay in the relationship. It
if I were to
depends on
say
the
men are
relationship.
stronger than women, will we be sitting here arguing about the 1% of women that are stronger than the weakest men on the planet? We wouldn't sit here and have this, get into a debate about whether or not the 1% of women that are stronger than the weakest dudes out here. It makes no sense. Like, why would we're like nitpicking. Right?
The point is
It's
like
on
scientifically, like you just don't, you're not like, like that's why on like Kleenex, it says 99.9% of all bacteria germs are killed. You don't say 100%.
Do you know?
Because it's an absolute.
Exactly.
And that's dangerous.
All right, so
you don't say that.
Let me rephrase then. 99% of men cheat.
Mm.
Does that make you feel better?
But is that fact?
Yes.
Do you have
It's a fact.
empirical evidence?
You
Do you
don't-
have a list of every single man that's,
the
alive?
planet?
What's your sources?
On the planet?
What are your
Okay.
sources, buddy?
Okay.
Cite them.
So
let's.
He's like,
okay, we're gonna use logic. Hold on, I'm gonna break it down because I'm equipped for this.
Okay, please do.
Okay, right now on the planet there's 7 billion people, right? Let's say half of them are women, half of them are men. If we go 100 years back, and then 100 years back, and then 100, and we just throughout history, there's a lot of men who didn't have no concept of cheating. There wasn't none of this. Men were just having sex with multiple women.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no commitment to one woman. That did not exist. That
a
is,
polygamous relationship.
polygamy was the ruling and has been ruling, and it's still what most men practice. They don't call it that. Now it's called, cheating, and they're shamed to try to stop them from doing that and get them into a doctrine, right? Because it comes from a religious doctrine. Marriage comes from a doctrine. So throughout history, I would say, yes, 99% of women are not the only woman in a man's life. Most men have sex with more than one woman in their lifetime. If you are young, you're going to, at some point, have sex with another woman that's not the woman you had sex with.
Facts.
So if we were going to even say that back in the day, those men were to stay with their wives, those men are not only having sex with that woman for, 40 years of their life. That's why brothels exist. That's why spas exist. Because men who are married, who want to be in private, will go get a massage, and you don't know what's going on in there, but men know what's going on in there, and they're cheating on their wives.
Facts.
This is a reality.
Real quick, I wanted to break this down for y'all because it's perfect. There's 3 men here and there's 3 women. So for the women, I have a question for y'all. How many times per year can you get pregnant?
I mean, one time.
One time?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Sarah?
It's
One
2
time?
months.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask the men here. How many times per year can you get a woman pregnant? Or you?
As many women as are willing to have sex with me.
What will you say, Q?
I have to say there's no absolute number.
Right,
But
but
we could say at least 10.
it's more than one, right, Q?
I don't know.
That's
Q, come on.
arguing in,
Q,
in bad faith.
Wait, hold on, because he knows the answer. If you busting that in 3, I know they're your friends, hypothetically, ladies. If you busting that in all 3 of them raw, there's a chance that all 3 of them can get pregnant. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Okay, so based off the biological facts, that right there is telling you that men, we're built to be polygamous. Because I can be with you, her, and get all of you pregnant. But guess what? If we all just sleep with Sarah, only one of us is getting you pregnant.
Yeah, that's true.
Only one of our seeds are breaking through the egg.
That is true, but we're also like, there's also facts that it's like we're kind of built to be vegetarians because of the way that our teeth are shaped. We're actually not meant to eat meat.
Right, you're right.
But what do? We eat meat, and so
Does
it's
it make it
like,
right?
Yeah, it doesn't. So it's like, yes, there's a fact that it's like probably that men are like we're made to be like polygamous in a way, but doesn't mean that they need to.
See,
It's
but
not
this
like,
is the problem, though. The slope that and I respect it, but the slope that you're going through, that you're going down, is morally. And I'm speaking biological facts. What you're speaking of is morally. Like, morally, I get it. A man should be,
But
he should be faithful.
Pardon me, but see, that's for some men.
Right.
Drake could walk in here and he doesn't have to be faithful.
Right.
And they'll still accept it. That's where it's like, okay, let's draw the demarcation line with the morality argument, because morality's out the window and Drake could have as many girls as he wants, but now you're subjecting regular Tommy over here
Facts.
to have to be just with me because Tommy's a regular man. Why does Tommy have to only be with you, but Drake could be with whoever he wants?
God body, because you just said it. He's regular. Tommy's regular. Drake put in the work. He established his social dominance.
And Tommy's still going to cheat, by the way.
He's still going to cheat. And that's the thing that's crazy is like, would you rather, because this is the thing, whether the guy's a millionaire or he's broke, they're both going to cheat on you.
Right.
So now it's your decision to choose who you want. And I know it sounds crazy, but women don't understand this concept. When you walk outside, you know, you guys get dressed, you look good. Men are going to approach you regardless. Whether you want them to or not, they're going to catcall you, they're going to approach you regardless. And women don't understand that you guys are the hunted, we are the hunters. So for us, we have to approach. We have to do the work, because at the end of the day, you could sit at the bar with your girls and stuff, turn up, be pretty, and you know you're still going to garner some type of attention.
Right.
But it's the man's job to come up to you. So everything that we're talking about, that's a major factor, and it plays a big part.
Let me ask a question, right, for all you guys. Would you be able to describe for me, like, what is the perfect man for you? What qualities does that man have to have for you to be, happy with the man that, and also financially, to what degree does he have to be in?
I mean, for me personally, I just want someone who's like an equal. I want reciprocation. I want someone to take care of me, but I also am like a gifter. I love, giving people things.
Mm-hmm.
I just want it to be equal. I want to be attracted to that person. I want them to be attracted to me. I want them to be faithful. I will be faithful to them. Like, it should just be equal.
If in this equality, are you still gonna have your Instagram?
Yeah, of course. Like I said.
So what's equal? How is that equal if he doesn't have the level of temptation that you receive on a daily basis? How come you get to still have all these guys that are potentially better quality men than him? How come you still have the opportunity to have access to that and he doesn't?
So, I mean, yeah, sure. If I have all these celebrities in my DMs tempting me or whatever, what's more powerful in a relationship is that if you do have those temptations, you have all these outside, men who are possibilities or whatever, it's the choice to not engage with them. That makes a relationship powerful. That makes something concrete. That's beautiful. That's love.
I have a question for you real quick.
Uh-huh.
So you're perfect built man, right? Do you want him to be taller than you?
Yeah, sure.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
So you want him to be at least what? Give me a
Sure,
number.
like 5'8" or something.
5'8", right? And even with that, you wear heels. Let's say if you're 5'5" and you wear heels, you might be 5'8".
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind being taller than a guy.
But I'm saying you're perfect built man. What you would prefer? You want him to be taller than you, right?
I mean, love is love. If I stumble upon a guy who's
Have
a
you ever
midget,
dated?
way
But wait,
shorter
hold
than
on.
me,
Hold on, she
of
ducking.
course.
You ducking
She said midget.
Wait, she's ducking the question. I'm asking you, and be honest with me.
Okay.
Your preference, like what you would prefer, like you're literally like you're going to Chipotle or Wawa and you're typing in the sandwich you want.
Mhm.
Imagine this is a man.
Mhm.
Would you rather that man be taller or the same height as you?
I'd rather them be taller. And
Okay.
I know what you're gonna. I know
Wait,
where you're
wait,
going
wait.
with this.
All right,
Wait. Let me finish though.
okay.
Right. Yeah, because like you said, I wear heels. Like, I don't mind being taller than a guy, but I know a lot of guys are insecure about that. They don't want their girl to be, taller than them, and that's fine.
But wait, hold on. I'm not judging you for that.
Okay.
That's fine. That's your preference. I'm not judging you for that.
Yeah.
Would you want your man to be handsome?
Of course. If I'm, attractive,
Right.
they should be equally as attractive.
Would you
Of
want him
course.
to be charismatic?
Yeah.
Would you want him to be able to have the ability to protect you? So if I'm walking down the street with you and somebody tries to snatch your purse, you will want me as a man to check them, right? You will want to you want to feel secure with a man who can protect you, right? Yes or no?
I know.
Oh,
I mean,
so,
I'm
so wait, hold
honest.
on, wait. So if we're going now, you would be okay if you're protecting me?
Yeah, honestly.
Come on, man.
Like
She's
some
cat.
and
That's
some
cat.
guys, some guys are into that. Some guys are into
Are you
the
into
muscle
that, though?
mommies.
But
I
no.
personally am not. I'm actually into the
Okay.
guys who look like they are about to die. I'm into like the Timothée Chalamet guys who are like literally giving twink. That's my type. And those guys would not be able to protect me. They would not. I wouldn't be able to protect them.
Wait, so
Like,
wait.
we're on an equal level.
So
buddy.
hold on. If a guy
Yeah.
can't protect you, you want him? Really?
I don't want.
You gonna look at me in the face
I don't
and tell me that?
I don't want a guard. I want a man. I want a boyfriend.
But
I want a partner.
What I'm saying is that if we're at the club, right, and I go to the bathroom, right, and you're at the bar, and there's this guy who's harassing you, yo, man, what's up, blah blah blah, and you're telling him respectfully, I have a man, chill, I have a man. Then he starts grabbing you, touching you, and disrespecting you. Now, me as a man, when I come back, you're telling me that you're okay with me just letting that happen?
I didn't say that.
So you want a man to protect you, right?
I mean, I want anyone to protect me. It's not just a man.
Why
Like,
should
I
that-
want my friends to protect me,
No,
but
no, no.
obviously I'm
We're
not
not-
gonna befriend, like, my friend. Like, I'm not gonna, like,
we-
become friends with people who are
no,
taller than
because
me, bigger than me.
We're not talking about your friends, though. I'm
Yeah,
talking about a man that you're with. You will want him to protect you. I know you. I know that you're swerving it, but I know the answer to this.
I'm not swerving, just in any situation.
Okay,
I
wait,
want
wait.
anyone to protect
Hold
me.
on,
Sure,
hold
of
on,
course.
wait,
I don't
alright.
know.
All right, wait, hold on. Let's be like clear, because I understand what you're saying. Let's be like direct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Be honest. Do you want a man who's going to protect you? Yes or no? Just yes or no? No. Wait,
a weird
wait,
question
wait, wait.
because I feel like I know where this is going. You guys are gonna be like, men are hunters. Like, you guys
Wait,
are
no,
sad.
no, no.
Women are gatherers. Like,
Wait, listen
all
to
these
what I'm saying.
stereotypes. We talked about this, guys. No absolutes. Like, no generalizations.
No, hold on,
Like,
because
Literally.
this is the thing. This is the thing.
Uh-huh.
In order for us to conclude in the discussion, we have to
Yeah.
know what's
Yeah.
right. All right. So we need like a actual answer, not a swerve. You swerve it. Is the Earth flat or not? It's like we could sit here and talk about the. It's a 1 + 1 = 2. So do you want a man that is going to be a protector, or are you going to take the role of protecting? That's the question.
I said I want an equal.
So
Ross, she knows. Listen,
hold on, wait,
She
bro.
she knows what she wants to say, but she ain't saying. She's
You know-
trying to be politically correct,
No.
and I respect
And
it.
okay, and
But
hold
you
on,
want-
hold on,
wait,
hold
hold on.
What
You
if I did say I want to be the protector? And
But,
what?
but,
Right,
I-
fucking
but
what?
you can tell me that, and I know that it's cap. You
Yeah.
want
Why?
somebody.
You
to,
don't know me.
I don't need to
you're
know
like
you to know.
feminine, you're like,
Listen,
you're
want
not gonna-
you want a
feminine?
man to
You're
protect.
Why?
feminine.
Because of what?
Why
Wait,
wouldn't?
hold on.
But
Because
hold
of
on, time
what?
out. Why wouldn't
Because
any?
of how I look?
Why wouldn't any
No,
girl
because
want
you're a
that?
woman.
Why
You're
wouldn't
a
any
woman.
Because
girl
I'm
want
a
that?
woman?
Yeah, you're.
Listen, why would and if you want that, there's nothing wrong with that. Men are supposed.
Yeah,
our bone density is stronger than yours. We have our testosterone level is 120% more than you. Okay.
Do you know that women also have testosterone?
You guys
Yes.
do, but not more than me.
We also have estrogen.
Not more than him. Not more than him. I know that for a fact. So we're built to have this job, and that's okay. It's all right. You want a man to be able to protect you. You want a man taller than you, handsome, who's charismatic, who knows what he's doing. You want a man. If I hit you up on Hinge, Instagram, whatever, which one would you prefer? Oh well, I'm asking you out on a date, and I say, oh well, what do you want to do? Or would you rather say, oh well, what do you like? You like tacos? Okay, perfect. I know this perfect spot. Are you free on Thursday? Cool. I'm gonna pick you up at 8 p.m. and that's it. I see the memes all the time on Instagram. Girls don't want to what you doing type of nigga. They want to I'm taking you here type of guy.
They want
I mean,
an assertive.
that's not
Am I lying?
leader.
That's not a thing of like, oh, I want a leader, or I want a manly man. Like, I just want someone who, like, if you are coming up to me, if you're asking me out, you should have plans. You
Okay,
should be like,
but
no,
that's
no,
a leader.
let's get
Hold on,
this.
hold on, wait.
I
wait.
would do this with
I'm
friends
gonna
too. If I'm
rephrase
asking
this.
my friend out to go get food, I'm gonna be like, do you want to go do this? I'm
A
not gonna
man,
be like,
listen,
let's go out. What do you want to do?
But hold on,
Guys,
a man
guys.
who's doing that is a leader.
Hold on, I got
But
the
a
perfect.
woman is not a leader if she does that too, man.
Yo, mute the. Yo, listen.
Quickly answer that.
Hold on, listen.
Okay.
I'm gonna rephrase the question. I think this is a better phrase.
Okay.
Okay, do you think you deserve a man who is a leader?
What does that mean? Why would I need a leader? I am my own leader.
I hear you. I'm not negating that.
Okay.
What I'm asking is, do you think you deserve a man that is a leader?
No,
You don't deserve that.
that
Okay.
doesn't make sense to me. Like,
I think it's more of like confidence. Like if
Yes.
someone slides into your DMs with confidence,
But
that's
that's not
something
my
else.
question. That's not the question that I asked, right? Because we could agree that there are guys who are not leaders and guys who are leaders. So it's just like saying, okay, do you deserve a man who is motivated, a man who is well off, a man who is focused and driven, a man who has the capacity to be a good father? Those are not qualities that all men possess.
Facts.
So I'm phrasing the question in such a way where now you have to put yourself on the scale and measure against yourself. Do you deserve the kind of man that you're looking for? So the question is, do you deserve a man who's a leader, a man who's going to respect you, a man who's going to take care of you, a man who's going to provide for you, a man who's going to love you, a man who's going to love your children, a man who's going to honor you? Do you deserve that man?
I mean, yes, of course I deserve all those things, but that doesn't mean he's a leader necessarily. I deserve someone who is like I said, equal to me, well off, financially stable, you know,
Well,
has a
hold on,
career,
if he's
all
well
these
off,
things.
if he's well off, then he's not equal to you.
How do you know?
Yeah, go ahead.
Respectfully, are you well off right now?
I mean, I would say I'm upper middle class.
Right,
I
but-
have a lot of privilege. I can acknowledge that for sure.
And
Wait, your dad? You're saying like, did you create a business or something?
I mean, I have my own brand, my own fashion brand.
Is your fashion brand like in the millions? Or,
It's not yet because I'm 20 years old. I'm
Garments
still
by
in school.
and listen, and
At
listen,
Garments by
listen,
Russell.
and listen.
well, you're gonna
You're-
make it happen though.
Listen,
I believe in
I
that.
appreciate that. I appreciate
you're
that.
grinding, and we respect that.
Yeah.
And I respect that. But what I'm saying is that if you were to meet a man right now who's making six figures, high six figures, even a millionaire, like Ross said, he's well off, and you're not. So that off the rip, there's like a hierarchy. And my thing is that it's okay for a woman to say that she wants a man to do this, this, and that. Because I personally believe that's a man's job. A man, if I'm your man, right? You shouldn't be paying the majority of bills. When we go out on dates, I'm taking care of it. If somebody dares to talk to you inappropriate or try to take your purse, what? He's getting beat the fuck up on site. There's no question about it. And the thing is that that's what women really want. At the end of the day, you don't want someone who's equal to you.
Patty,
You don't.
Let me ask you
I
a
do,
question.
though.
You
Do
don't.
you okay, Patty? All right. Do you want a man, or do you deserve a man
Yes.
who's okay?
Period.
But I do believe that like the what you guys are saying are true. I do believe that men should provide. I'm a type of person that it's like, yeah, I want my man to take care of me. I want, like, I will say it loud and proud, like, I want my man to take care of me, pay for all the dates. Like, that's why I do, like, I want more of a wealthy man. I can't lie. My last ex was a pretty wealthy man, and I enjoyed that just because he would take me on all these trips and he would pay for it. But also, I believe that that Garcelle, like, she was just trying to say her own preference, and you guys are like kind of pressuring her into saying what you wanted to hear. Now,
No, she could say whatever she wants. The question is what she's saying accurate? Because
it's
you
accurate
can
to herself.
It's accurate to me.
Well, okay, so
Right.
again,
Like,
so
preference,
hold on, so you
individuality.
right?
Yeah, I
So
think
you're saying that you're saying that you want a man that's equal to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I would argue that because like I'd say any guy that you're probably attracted to is probably stronger than you, right? That most likely means you guys aren't equal. So how, you say equal.
I mean, I'm not talking about like physically.
no, now
obviously.
you want to get specific into things. Well, I'm
Yeah,
getting
'cause you're
specific
saying-
into things
you're
too.
saying stronger. Do you mean physically stronger, mentally stronger? What does that mean?
Yeah, well, both. Because I'm
Okay.
sure that you want a man who's both physically and mentally stronger than you. Unless you want a guy who like comes home crying, just like you may have a hard day and you cry and let it out and cry to your girls. And I don't know, new generation is kind of weird, but I don't see a girl going to like wanting a guy to cry to her because he had a rough day. Men who are
I
like,
like that.
It's actually very attractive
It's so
to
hot.
have emotions.
Like,
Yes,
it's healthy. It
It's-
makes you human.
you're
Okay,
a fucking human
so
if you
hold
have
on.
emotions. So
That-
yes, it's
that's what-
normal.
That's
Okay.
what happened with my last situationship. He actually cried to me a lot.
did you feel more attraction to him after he cried?
Actually, yeah, we did like do it.
Because that's emotional
can't lie.
connection. It's an emotional
Yeah.
connection.
So-
like
It's
with my
important because it lets you see this person vulnerable and it lets you know
So-
that they trust you.
So let me ask
Right.
you guys, ladies, a question. So if I'm getting this straight, right? So you guys want men who are emotional?
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Okay.
That's so hot.
I-
Emotions
yeah.
are so hot. Like,
Yeah?
oh my god.
Okay.
To like
Be-
be a human being, like, oh, so hot.
Be in
Crazy.
tune with your emotions. Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
So-
I did date a person like my last ex. I did date, and he was very stoic. Never cried. Never only. He was super stoic, and I feel like that was a thing that drove us apart. Was because I was saying like, hey, if you feel like you're having a hard day, talk to me about it. So like, tell me. I want to feel closer to you. But he was just like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm okay. Which that's a lot of guys. It's like it's
So
difficult.
let me ask a question, and to you specifically. You know, you want your man to be secure and well off, right? A wealthy man. So here's this man that you're with. You guys love each other. He's wealthy. I mean, you may love him for his wealth. I don't know. Let's hypothetically, let's say that's a thing for you. So let's make that demarcation line, right? Your love may not be as like how he loves you. So if you guys are in love and having a happy relationship and whatever, everything is going well, and all of a sudden this man just like loses his job or his business, he's getting, a levy by the IRS. Like now he's, he's going through financial hardships. Like he had to declare bankruptcy. Would you stay with him?
I am a very passionate and loving person. So if I'm really truly in love, yes, I would because
Okay,
I've
but your love,
experienced it.
your love, you wouldn't have given him a chance if he wasn't well off, right?
No, I mean the situationship that I told you earlier. He was actually like had zero money. Couldn't like our date would be using a McDonald's coupon from the McDonald's app, and he would get me fries, and that's it. But I thought that I loved him at the time, and I was very like I really cared about him, and I didn't care. Like I would have been in a relationship, but of course I do prefer.
Yeah.
I do prefer someone who is weller off. I do prefer.
Okay. If this man that's well off is no longer in a position to take care of you or give you the same lifestyle, let's say that you did stay with him, right? And you guys did work on your relationships and you guys made things work out. You fought through the whatever challenges you guys had, and now he's back on the way up, but he's changing it, right? He's not like as as like loving towards you, or he's like during this time that he was broke, he had to be like stoic. He had to not care. He had to focus on his job. Would you have preferred during the time where he was not making money or whatever, would you have preferred for him to, let his emotions out, cry or whatever, and make you feel insecure about your living conditions, your, whatever's going on in your life? Or would you have preferred for him to be stoic and maybe not let you know of all the details about what's going on so that you don't have to feel the pressure of, oh man, where are we going to live? Now you have children, like what's going on with the children? What would be the best, what would, in your opinion, be the best character for him to take in that situation?
I personally think the best character would be him showing his emotions, just because I feel like in a relationship, it should be a partnership. You are two working together. If my man is at his all-time low, I want him to communicate that with me so that we can work together to push through the hard times. If I don't expect, I actually know a decent amount of houses. My dad, my parents owned a company when they were together, flipped houses. We would live in them and then sell them. I know a pretty good amount of houses. So I believe that for me, I would more want to take the responsibility in controlling that. But I do, I don't expect my man not to tell me anything. I would want to know his emotions and his feelings so that I can help him, and then I feel like that would make us closer partnerships together. But if he did, like you said, change, and he like started not to be as loving and be more stoic, then no, because then I won't feel loved, and I need to be in a relationship where I feel loved, because I have been in relationships where I feel like I've put in more energy than they put into me, and I want to make sure that that's reciprocated.
Okay. Same scenario for you.
I mean, yeah, honestly, same answer. I feel like emotions are like, yeah, like you said, emotions are what make you human. Vulnerability is like really important to me in a relationship. I think just like the foundation of relationships for me, I believe, are trust and honesty and like connection, right? Like the way you connect with your friends, it's the same thing, just adding like the romantic and like sexual and like intimate aspect, for a relationship. So I feel like if you're able to be intimate with someone and like vulnerable, then that's something really powerful, and I feel like that can get you through anything versus, like Patty is saying, like the very stoic, like emotionless, like da da da, I'll take care of everything. Like that's not gonna get you anywhere. Like, why do you have to hide that?
Okay.
Be a human.
Yeah.
What about you, sir?
Yeah, I completely agree. Like you can't expect a human to not fully express their emotions. I feel like that's unreasonable. You know what I mean? And even thinking about like not a like romantic relationship aspect, my father, he's that type of way. He doesn't express his emotions, and we have like the farthest connection ever. I don't know who that man is. Like I don't know him. And if he was honest about his emotions and shared how he felt about things, we potentially could. So I just think it's really important.
So let me ask a question. For you live with, like, in Ohio, you live with your dad and like your mom, they live together?
I live with my mom, yes, and my dad, he lives somewhere else.
Oh, but have you ever spent like a prolonged period of time with your dad?
I visit him, like from the times that I visit him, yes, which sometimes is like a month at the longest.
Okay. So during that time, if your dad was going through like a hard time, would you want him to kind of tell you in detail, or make you feel, or just, I guess, put that weight on your shoulders?
For me, it's not necessarily weight on my shoulders. It's, again, like what they said, like going through it together. Like my mom, she's very honest with me about what she goes through, like whether that's financially or, her health or whatever. And I feel like we can get through it together. It's actually what made me feel most close to her, is when she's just completely honest about what we're going through, even if we're about to get like kicked out the house or something like crazy like that. I mean, like, tell me, like, I want to know. We can talk about it.
Okay. Do you think men nowadays, and this is a question I guess for all you guys are younger than I am, and younger than Cory, and to be honest, we could do the whole fresh and fit thing, right? We could just keep going with it. But what I've realized, right, is that you guys have different experiences. You guys have different experiences, and are, maybe for you guys it may be a better thing. Maybe you're the way that you guys think now, it's more inclusive and more, I grew up in an age where we would make fun of you and shit like that, like we would do things that was bullying was more of a thing. We were just different. It was just more aggression and more whatever. It was different, right? So do you guys think now, with the way that, the relationships dynamics that you guys are seeing in your own personal lives in college, hearing stories from your friends, maybe personal experiences, do you think that it's better, relationships are better now in today's time? Or if you guys have any knowledge of like relationships back in, in the 50s, 60s, when, or even maybe in the 90s without the advent of social media, do you guys think relationships are better back then? Or do you guys think relationships are better now? And I'd like to start with Cory.
Well, you already know what I'm going to say, brother. I'm going to say that it was better back then. Yeah. Like, one thing I will say is gender roles is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a real thing, even in the gay community. In all communities, it's a real thing. You're always going to have a party who's more dominant, and you're always going to have a party who's more submissive. Mm-hmm. And I think that today, the biggest problem I have with today is that we try to be so politically correct. But like if I'm with Sarah, right? Hypothetically, and it's like, okay, you pay the bills, you're the protector, you're the provider. You know, I'm the nurturer. I'm the one who like takes care of things at home. Like those are, from what I've seen, right? Those are the relationships that last over time.
Mhm.
Because all this like 50-50 stuff, like women can say that and it's cool, like it sounds great on paper. But at the end of the day, and even in the gay community, it's still one person's dominant, one person's submissive. Am I lying, Q? Well, now listen, before you answer, whether you've been the dominant or submissive one, there's always one or the other.
He hasn't been in relationships.
But I know, but he's
yeah.
he's
He
messed
maybe
around.
maybe
He can elaborate.
experience-
How do you feel?
Are you talking about sexually?
No, relationships.
Relationship wise,
Relationship.
I know you haven't been in a relationship, but like, let's say there was a dude that you or your friends, maybe one of your friends has been in a relationship. Is there still a dynamic of one's more dominant and one's more submissive? No.
From the gay relationships that I've seen that were healthy, no.
Okay.
They were both treated as equals.
And in
Now wait, now I believe him,
mhm.
but see, we're talking about men, so it's not men and women. It's still kind of different because even if it's two gay men, they both still have high testosterone levels. It's still an equal playing field.
But even in the gay community, like there is still some form of like gender roles and like gender anti-feminism, I want to say, because I have noticed a lot, especially in online spaces, that femme guys tend to be less desirable. That's just
what's a fem? What is that? Like a feminine guy? You saying?
A femboy is like someone who would like present more feminine.
Okay.
In
Why?
The community.
Why do you think that? Why are they less desirable in your opinion?
In my opinion,
Yeah.
I feel like he never thought about that.
I haven't.
Right.
I exist in my own.
Right, in your own world.
in my own.
You got your own aura going now.
Realm. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I focus more on what I want, what I'm attracted to.
Right.
But in just to like, I guess answer that question, like, what do you have an opinion on that? What would be,
For
a reason for that?
For me, I don't romantically. I tend to be more attracted to masculine guys.
Mm-hmm.
I just.
So would you consider yourself more of like the like more masculine than you would be? So you would be like the feminine of the femme boys, like whatever. I don't know the terminology. So
I would be like a mix. I would be like the. I
In the
feel like I would be like the gray area. Not mask, not femme. You know, like in the middle, right there.
Okay.
You know,
So yeah,
the blend of two.
yeah. So I mean, do you think that there's like a gender role? Because you were saying you believe in the gender role inside of the community.
Like when I say the gender role, I mean when it comes to attraction.
Right.
For within the community, a lot of the high desirable people, I should say, tend to be the and this also goes into like sort of like the racism within the community as well. It tends to be the very straight presenting masculine white guys that tend to be the most desirable for gay guys.
Right.
That's just
that's in your realm. Those are like the top. Those are like the IG models of the realm.
And I feel like a lot of it. I feel like a lot of that has to do with porn, because, like going back to I guess what was said about guys being very sexual. We are very sexual. I'm not gonna deny that. So when you see porn, gay porn especially, it's a lot of white looking straight. It's a lot of straight looking white people that you see, and because that is what is seen when like sexualities are forming and people are self-discovering, that tends to be what we become attracted to. That tends to be what's like, this is our top pick.
So you're saying that you think that it is conditioning. It's like a conditioning going on in the sense that men are being conditioned to like a specific kind of men, in your community based on overall watching.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily conditioning,
Mhm.
because conditioning would have to imply that it was done purposefully, and I wouldn't say necessarily it's conditioned to be that way. I would say that happens to be the outcome solely because of what is
The
present
industry.
and available. Yes.
Okay.
I do want to say something because I've been in a relationship where I was like the dominant person, like, and the man was submissive. It was a very healthy relationship. I mean, like,
He did everything you wanted.
no, I mean, like, I had all the money, like he was raised in a very like toxic environment growing up. He didn't have his mom and dad around. He lived with his grandmother, and he, like, I helped him a lot. Like, I helped him do a lot of things, and that's just how it was. But we really, really, really liked each other, and I was able to look past a lot of the things that might seem as like embedded in our society. I feel like you can generally look past things if you really love someone, and it doesn't have to be that way. Like, maybe sure, like back in the day, like that's how it was, sure, but everyone just has preferences, and that those things can change.
And it's respectable, but my rebuttal and question to you is, where is that man now?
Well, we broke up,
Okay.
obviously, and
Alright.
I was his first person he ever dated, so now he is
So
somewhere. I'm not paying attention to him.
So listen, after all Sarah just said, right, it didn't work out. And that's my point. I'm listening to you very closely.
It didn't work out because he was the toxic, manipulative one I was talking about.
But listen, at the end of the day, I can tell you this. You being the more dominant one, like how you just proclaimed, whether you know it or not, that had a deciding factor in him not being in your life anymore. And this is the thing. We live in a culture today where it's like everything is politically correct and it's cool. But I'm different from you and you're different from me. We have both chemically imbalances, like we're different, and it's okay. And the thing is that we're not equal. That now, since this is the thing. When you talk to women, Rob, about these subjects and stuff, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you say it that triggers them. And the thing is that just because we're not equal, that doesn't mean that I'm better than you. It just means that you play your part and I play mine.
So because and everyone here, I could feel her thoughts is just working. They're like, she's hearing these words, right, and she's analyzing what do you got to say with that?
I mean,
that men and women are not equal, and it's okay that we're not equal. What are your thoughts on that statement?
Do you mind if I?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jump in, Q, of
Well,
course.
I'm not gonna say do you mind if I take this one, but I just want to say, like, I know you say just because you said men and women are not equal does not mean I think I'm better than you, but saying that men and women aren't equal automatically establishes that one person would have to be better than or less than the other.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just say this as a statement. This is my own personal opinion. It has no bearing on. I think men are better than women. That's just my opinion. I think we created society. Like, I have reasons to believe that us as men play a fundamental role in how we shape consciousness, how we move about society. The thoughts that these ladies are even having come from a group of men who sat there and decided how to manipulate and how to play the cards so that we can establish a society to run a specific way, right? So I don't agree that men and women are equal. I think men are, I'm not saying men are superior. Men are not equal, they're better, just not equal. If we're gonna
superior,
which is the same word.
better. Okay, so
I think the real question is,
so I just don't want it. I
do
don't
you
want it.
mean?
Yeah, I don't want it to sound. I don't want it to sound like wrong. You know, I don't want it to sound like I'm saying we're just shitting on women.
Yeah, I think the big question I want to
Yeah.
say we all would like to know is like,
Yeah.
what we're asking, I feel like,
Mhm.
is in what sense do you
Okay.
feel that superiority is there?
Right. Well, in the sense that we have to be more controlled. We have more responsibility, right? With great power comes great responsibility. And I think men have more power, therefore have more responsibility. And because we have more responsibility, we have to be better.
Again, but men established that. So if we were to go back when that was established and we said, okay, men and women equal responsibilities, where do you think the world would be today?
Can you elaborate on the question so I
Like,
can understand it better?
The system as we know it, the
Mhm.
system that we live in, it's no secret that it was created by men.
Yeah.
So you're saying what you were saying was men,
Mm-hmm.
as men, we naturally in society have to take on more responsibilities.
Yes.
But that was created by men.
Right.
So if we went back to when that was established and said, so what if we gave men and women equal responsibilities in society? Where do you think the world would be today?
Okay. Well, that would imply that we would have to force women to pick up heavy rocks and boulders and move them, and force women to go to war, and force women to create weaponry, force women to forge steel, force women to go into mines and mine, and which is you're going to die before you're 50, 100%, and you're still gonna do it. So if that were the reality, I don't think that we would be as far as we are in society, because we'd have a physically weaker being doing things that we would have to now, she's not gonna pick up the same weight that slave over there is gonna do. So now we gotta wait for her to, come back and forth from the mine 50 times when we could just have that one guy do it and he'll come back, 20 times. So we just have to accept where we're at right now, like that scenario is really like, it's kind of wild. I don't think we would be in the same place. Yes.
I mean, you're Native American, right?
I am.
So women back then actually weren't just gatherers. Like there was a lot of women who were both actually hunter-gatherer. And even
I'm Native American. I can 100% tell you we did not operate off of a matriarch. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, obviously back then,
our women didn't hunt, for sure.
I mean, I don't know if you've read a history book, but
No.
definitely.
You're talking to somebody who's you're gonna tell me my culture.
My boy's very knowledgeable.
I assure you.
I'm just saying. I mean, new stuff comes out all the time.
Listen,
we discover new stuff in history.
Easy.
I can even tell you in World War II, Russian women were fighting the war.
Well, I can't speak. I'm talking about Native Americans. You asked me about Native Americans.
We gotta talk about all cultures. We can't just talk about
in Russia.
Society.
They are extremely patriarchal to the point where women have not even close to the same rights as women here.
True.
Hold on.
That is true.
I mean,
hold on, real quick.
Have you been to university? Let me just ask.
I was and I was a youth ambassador also.
Okay.
Just so you know, so I've deal with nationhood. That's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you that women are fighting for rights in Russia that you have here. They're fighting for them.
Of course, in all societies.
So that's my point.
We're saying,
so
all societies, pretty much all of them are patriarchal. But that's not to say that
men built
it's
the
because
world.
of that. Because women are lesser. Women can still do all the things that men can do.
No, you cannot.
No.
Why is that? Tell me why. Tell me why. Testosterone.
Baby
you're talking
girl,
about
baby girl.
all this stuff that's not science. It's not real.
It is science.
The whole argument of men have testosterone and women also have testosterone.
The average man, right, who doesn't go to the gym, who doesn't work out, and the average woman. The average man who doesn't work out has 3 times more testosterone than the woman who doesn't either. And there's nothing wrong with that. Women are amazing. This is the problem, is that when we have these conversations and stuff, I get it. Women get triggered because it's yo, I'm important too. Don't try to shit on me. And I'm not. What I'm saying is that the fact that you can give birth and you're that's amazing.
It is amazing.
That's something that I'll never be able to do. And guess what? At the end of the day, we need each other. And that's the problem, is that women think, oh, well, men are saying all this, I'm stronger, I'm this and that means that I'm less than. No, it doesn't. It just means that we all play our part. There's some chiefs and there's some Indians. But at the end of the day, if we can understand that we can grow and we can build on that. Let me ask you a question. If there was like a fleet of men to break in right now, right? As we're doing this podcast, would you prefer there be 10 women defending you or 10 men? And I need you to answer that honestly.
I mean, I'd prefer there to be 10 people. I don't care.
No,
I don't care what the gender is.
No. I'm asking you. See what I'm
No,
saying?
but very specifically, is it like 10 muscle mommies or is it 10 like twinkie little boys? Like, what is it? Tell me. It's like you have to get into the specifics.
Listen,
Come on.
Okay, perfect.
Right?
On average.
Is it like 100 toddlers versus like 10 whatever rhinos or something? Like, you know what I mean?
Listen, would you rather 10 average men or 10 average women? We're not talking about muscle mommies or brolic dudes.
Right.
On average. After I gave you the statistical fact that men, on average, have 3 times more testosterone than women, would you rather the average Joe or the average Sally to protect you?
Girl, I want Sally. I'd rather die Sally protecting me than
but wait,
average
wait,
Joe.
wait. Let me just say this, brother. Let me say this, because and this is no disrespect to you. You have your own beliefs and your own thoughts. However, what I will say is, you know, there's arguing in bad faith. That's a thing, right? And arguing in bad faith it disrupts the peace and tranquility of building, right? If we're trying to build and get to a solid point, you can stand your ground and also know when to, you know, if you're not right, or let's say you are right, or whatever it is, you can kind of, you know, just be logical and say things that make sense, right? If 10 guys come in, okay, you want to know exactly what kind of men, right? So these are 10 guys who are coming in, they're aggressive, military trained men, let's say, right? I don't know. We imagine that. The kind of women that are going to be average, he said average, right? So average women, average military trained men, average military trained women. Everybody knows how to fight on average, right? So then he added, okay, men on average have more testosterone than women, more aggression than women. They're stronger than women. So at this point, would you prefer, right, like these 10 women to defend you, or would you prefer it be 10 guys to defend you? And go ahead, what's your response to that?
I mean, obviously, if the goal is like to survive, I want whoever is most capable of protecting
Look, Rob,
to protect me.
You asked the question very intelligently, and she's gonna be politically correct, which I respect. But at the end of the day, right? Speaking about military purposes, because I have a few uncles in the military. The requirement for you to get in the military during BMT, which is basic military training, and me is different. Which means that in order for me to run like a 5-mile run, I have to meet a certain criteria than you.
Right, but who set up that system? What gender? Quickly.
Men in order to include women.
Hold on.
In order to include women, because if men didn't do that to include women, then you guys would not be in the military.
Exactly.
Because you're not capable.
You can't do as many. You cannot do as many push-ups as me, and you know what? That's okay. You're a girl. That doesn't mean that you're less than.
Yeah.
But I have more testosterone than you, even if both of us were in the gym and we didn't work out, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. You have gifts. You have powers that I will never have. A baby comes out of your body. I will never be able to do that.
I think a woman's power, and this is something I'd like to discuss, you know, because, you know, maybe we can change the conversation a little bit. I think a woman's power is unseen. You know, like you look at a guy and you kind of give him that look, and he knows, like, oh, wait, she might be into me. Or you kind of flirt in such a way where it's almost like, you know, you guys pick up on subtle things, on cues that
it's
men.
It's the art of seduction.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, the art of seduction, right? I mean, that's a thing. So, do you think, you know, that's a power that women have, that we can acknowledge, that, you know, women are better at being seductresses, right? That's the word.
Well, women, to piggyback off what Ross said, women, you guys, she might not agree with me, but women physically are more inferior to men. So, what does that do? What that does is it makes you more socially calibrated. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I understand that, but
You can
the
walk
whole
in.
the whole
Listen,
argument of men are stronger than women is just not true.
It is true.
men
It's
are
just not.
It
mommy,
is.
men are physically stronger than
What?
women on
Men-
average.
men are physically stronger than
you know
women.
what's
On
crazy?
average, let's
you-
talk about nuance.
I
But-
think
but hold on.
I've never
But
met
hold
a
on.
guy weaker than a chick.
But hold on,
like,
time
for
out.
real,
You
to
know
be
what's
honest.
crazy is that you come across as a very intelligent person.
am.
All everybody here.
Well,
So for you-
intelligence
for-
is subjective.
So for you to say that statement, I know that you're in your feelings because let's be real. If I'm taking the average man, the average woman, you're gonna tell me the average woman is stronger than man? It's not a fact. You know
Yeah,
it's not a
that's
fact.
delusion
And
shit.
guess what? It's okay. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how we were built. If I take a gorilla, a male gorilla and a woman gorilla, the male gorilla is stronger. It's just, it is what it is. And the reason why I bring that point up is because they share 98% of the DNA as we do. So they're the closest thing to human species. It's the same, like, there's no problem with that. We all serve our purpose. And the thing is that you guys are younger. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And the thing that's really sad is that, and I'm going to talk my shit real quick, but women 10 years from now, they're going to understand because it's the agenda.
Mhm.
The agenda, they don't want us to
make children.
They don't want us to do
have
that, Rob.
families.
They
So,
don't.
Wait,
Who is they?
to
What
your
is the
point.
agenda?
Hold on, to your point. Do you guys are you guys aware? Maybe you guys aren't, may not be in your sphere. But do you guys ever hear women who are like in their 30s, like 30s, 40s, speaking about how they regret the choices that they've made with regards to like choosing career over families, prioritizing their work instead of focusing on trying to find a capable and suitable mate? Have you guys heard anything or like on TikTok or whatever you guys are on?
With me, no, personally, I feel like I'm surrounded by a lot of strong and like independent women, but they're the only thing that they don't really regret anything, especially with their career choices. But I do believe that they wish that they had, like, some of them might wish that they had like a man that was more like loyal or like with them. But I feel like I haven't really met a woman that regret it.
Are they a lot of are they single? A lot of the women that you speak with that are older?
Honestly, no. They've been like they have families and they're not really single. I haven't really. That's just because I'm not really like surrounded by people in their 30s or 40s. It's mostly only family members, and I'm from a Hispanic family, surprisingly. And my mom has 10 other siblings, and they all like they have a lot of babies, like just like constantly.
So
like
in your I guess in your sphere, in your circle, it's mostly the people that are older that you speak with is basically your family members.
It's just pretty much a family.
How about you?
I mean, of course, people are always going to have like regrets in life, but I think the pressure like put on to women from this patriarchal society to
talk talk.
Settle down and have, a husband and be a good wife and, have, your kids and your white picket fence, ass life, whatever. Of course, you're going to feel like, oh, wow, I really, did well in my career, but like, I don't have any, like I don't have any kids, maybe I have like a husband or something, but like, wow, of course you're going to feel that pressure. Of course you're going to feel that regret, but a man is not going to feel that. A man is going to be like, wow, I'm the boss. I made whatever, 6 figures. Like, they're not going to really care that much. Most men really, like you're saying, according to you, like, don't really strive for that.
And it just depends on what the girl's preferences are, because some women are more independent and some women aren't. Like, with me personally, I really do like desire that white picket fence, that like happy family. And so if there is a time, like, I do want to prioritize family. Like, I'm a type of person, I am independent in my own ways, but I do believe that, like what some of you guys are saying, like, I do believe that there are times where men like are generally like, I like to be taken care of, so I do want my man to be stronger than me. I do want my man to like make money, to take care of me. I would be fine being a housewife. Like, working sucks.
See,
salute to you. I like that.
The problem with today, and I want to get
Sarah's
response. The problem with today is that most and I'm not saying this is y'all, but most modern day women, they want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional women. So you want a man who takes care of you, who does all these things, who protects and provide, but you don't want to be a traditional woman. And that's the problem with today. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, if you want a man who's going to be traditional, 9 times out of 10, because I hear everything that you're saying. I hear it. But 9 times out of 10, the man that you're attracted to, he's going to be strong. He's going to be dominant. He's going to be confident in himself. He's going to know what he wants. And you're going to be attracted to that, whether you admit it on the podcast or not. Those type of men, you're following their lead. It's not that your opinion doesn't matter, but you're following their lead. They're the ultimate decision maker. When you look at a company, there's not 2 CEOs, there's one.
Who put that system together?
Does that system work or no?
I don't think it does.
What
it
system?
doesn't?
Hold on, wait. What so in your I guess analysis of the system, what would be the ideal system for you?
I mean, just equality. There are countries out there like New Zealand that are run by women. There's a lot of countries run by women because women,
there's not a lot of countries that are run by women. So there's one country that you.
There are a good handful, right? But there really aren't a lot because of this patriarchal society, right?
And New Zealand is also the safest country and the best place to give birth in and have a family in.
Literally, like
Real
some
quick,
of the
real
best
quick.
countries out there are run by women.
Can we get Sarah's take and also Q's take? I want to know everybody's take.
Listen, like, it's preference. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I want a man to be this. Like, it doesn't have to be traditional. I didn't grow up in a traditional family. I'm not seeing things traditionally. Like, I'm just not that type of person. Not everything's gonna be, I want a man to be stronger. I want a man to be this. I don't mind the roles being reversed. Like, if we're talking about attraction is attraction. You know what I mean? Like,
you wouldn't mind paying the bills.
I think things should be equally, but I want to have my own personal income. Like, I don't want to rely on someone. That's not who I am.
Especially a man.
Exactly. I grew up with my mom taking care of shit, and that's just how I feel. So I want to have my own things established. If my man's acting up, I want to be able to dash. Okay. Yep. So I'm not.
Now, with that being said, do you think that that's the ideal situation for families to have that that mind state where if my man is acting up, I want to be able to pick up and dash and go rent my own apartment, and you stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane. Like, I have the right to now leave you because you didn't make me feel good, or maybe whatever the case may be, but you have that opportunity now that you have your own money, your own, you're established.
It's more about independence. Like, I think the two should have their own, like, something that you're building, like, just like being a goal-driven person. I think both parties should be a goal-driven person, like, and be able to make their own money. That's just how I feel. The whole, like, dash thing, I mean, it's kind of a joke, but it's just true, like, you shouldn't be 100% reliant on someone, because at the end of the day, you have nothing if something went wrong, like, not saying that you shouldn't rely on your relationship and always be prepared for that type of thing, but I just think it's good to have your own. Again, like, that's just the type of household I grew up in, seeing my mom having her own, establishing her own. So I want that for myself.
One of the things that I hear, and we're gonna get to you, Q. One of the things that I hear, and I heard this yesterday and it stuck with me. I was speaking with Cory, and he said, when women make money, they want to be independent. And then he asked me, he said, Ra, but independent of who? And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, that's a good point, man. Women want to be independent, and it's independent of men. And then he said, what happens when men make money? I was like, well, I know me, I'd like to have, like, my family and provide for my family. I don't think about being independent. Like, that's just, being an adult sucks. You guys are young, so you guys aren't really adults yet.
Like real quick, how ridiculous would I sound, Rob? But I'm strong and independent.
You sound like a dumb.
How ridiculous would I sound?
Yeah.
Even with body positivity is centered around women. You don't see no fat motherfucker who's a guy on the cover of a magazine and it's body positivity.
Yeah,
Because let's and I can really talk about this. Everybody here is pretty in shape. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, body positivity is a cope. Because at the end of the day, forget about the physical thing. It's not healthy.
right. Okay.
But we're saying, okay, body positivity. No, that shit is not healthy. Lizzo's music is cool, but she ain't healthy. And look, even with her, they got have clips of her with her backup dances where she's calling bitches fat. Come on, bro.
I mean, let me ask you this question: are you Lizzo's doctor?
Mm.
No.
Well, hold on.
Wait. I'm not Lizzo's doctor, but but wait.
You don't know her personal health.
Well,
you
well,
don't know,
Wait, I can tell you right now because I'm in
Okay.
the gym and I can tell you right now by looking at her, I know that her BMI, meaning like her fattest percentage, is not where it should be. I know that it's unhealthy.
We could again,
and it has nothing to do with physical attraction. I can tell you that is not healthy.
Well,
I can tell you that.
I mean,
and this is what I would like to say. Remember,
Okay.
you know, it's good to always, you know, not argue in bad faith, right? Like we know that you may not agree with what
Yeah.
he's saying, but
I'm just
we
saying, like,
could-
you can't be like, you can't assume, right? Back again with these, you know, absolutes. Like, you can't assume, just by looking at someone that they're unhealthy.
no,
you know, I've
she's
been
300 pounds. Or
Lizzo is unhealthy.
yeah, like
Lizzo works out. You haven't seen those videos of her like singing on the treadmill,
wait, hold on,
working
time out.
out?
I'll give her credit. She's getting better now, but when she first entered the game, come on, she's unhealthy.
It is true.
And that has nothing to do with my physical preference, what I like in women. She's unhealthy. And the thing is that today's society, we're promoting that. We're promoting inadequacies, and we're
kind of like what you said, right?
Yeah.
You said that eating meat is not healthy, right? Didn't you say that? Right?
Or it's like it's not technically
It's not
what
the
we're
best.
designed
Yeah,
for.
it's not
what
the
we're
best for our bodies, right?
Mhm.
So if it's not the best, then we can say that if we are eating meat, and based on the science, you know that let's say it was accurate, all right? Then we can all agree, you know, hey, if we eat meat, we're not healthy, or we're not at the best health that we can possibly be. It's not our best. We're not at our best potential because we eat meat. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the way I interpret body positivity as a whole, as a movement,
Mm-hmm.
isn't necessarily specifically about fat and how fat or skinny you are. I think body positivity as a whole, the movement, is meant to emphasize the point that who you are is not necessarily defined by how you look. It does. I think people get that misconstrued with saying it's promoting an unhealthy lifestyle, which body positivity does not come out say, go be fat, go be skinny, go be this, go be that. It doesn't do that. It's saying, what it is saying is appreciate yourself for who you are. And I think along with that, it is saying be the best version of yourself that you can be. And physically, that can look different for everyone. For some people, it may be losing weight. For some people, it may be gaining weight. For some people, it may be, starting a skincare routine. I did that. I don't know if it might not be working right now, but it's going to get
glowing.
there. At its heart, it's about appreciating who you are despite how you look physically.
And let me ask this question to everyone here. Do you guys prefer to be told the truth and be hurt, or would you guys prefer to be lied to and feel good?
I think that also depends on the situation, because sometimes like
A lie is a lie and the truth is a truth.
no,
so-
yeah, but sometimes like life, like sometimes just being oblivious is like can help
Yeah.
you get by in life, because if we knew like every little thing and every bad thing that happened, it can really like destroy us. Like I've read a lot about like global warming and I'm all about that, but sometimes I need to stop reading it because it scares me, because I'm like there's a lot of proof that it's like the world is ending, but I'm gonna stay oblivious to it because I'm trying to live my best life.
Protect your peace, for real.
Yeah, but I personally, if it was like an opinion, like if I was asking for someone's opinion, then yes, I would want them to be completely true. But if like speak however you want to speak, if I'm asking for a person's opinion, but if I'm not asking for their opinion, then I'd rather them just like keep it to themselves.
In the sense, like, you rather be lied to?
I mean,
Like, if somebody goes up to you and
Mhm.
says, whatever, they lie, they're like, you're ugly, right?
Mhm.
And you're just like, you're saying you rather them keep that lie to themselves because it's like a negative, right? In that sense. But what if it's like they're lying to not hurt you?
No.
Like if it was something extreme, let's say
No,
for
yeah.
example, somebody said to you, your dad hit your mom, and but they've been telling you your whole life your dad never put his hands on your mom. Like they've had the best relationship ever, and that's what you believe. It's what you've seen. But let's say at one time he like punched her in the face, right? You would prefer to never know that, or is that something that you would say, I should have that truth, like I should know that?
I believe I should have that truth. I've actually have experienced it with my father. Like I was lied to about his addiction, his alcohol and drug addiction for years. And when finding that out, I found out through my mother that, oh no, you're never going to see your dad because he's in rehab. And so it's like with me, I'm like, oh, I wish that I knew, luckily I knew when I was younger that he suffered from like that he was a little bit of an alcoholic, so I would like sniff all my drinks, like water, to check if it was alcohol or anything like that. And that allowed me to not be like, when I found out that he was an alcoholic, I was like, oh, I understand, but because I knew that truth. But when I found out he was a drug addict, like that really caught me off guard and that hurt me. And now me and my dad have a thing now that he tells me when he's struggling, and he's completely transparent and honest with me, because I feel like that's just like what I want. That's what I'm asking for.
The truth?
Yeah, the truth.
You rather the truth. How about you guys?
I mean, yeah, I definitely want the truth. Like there are certain scenarios where
Prefer
ignorance is bliss, right? In the same scenario, like global warming or like just disasters going on. Like life is hard. There's just a lot of like shit fuckery out there. It's like I don't need to be hearing that, or seeing that every day, because life is already hard enough as it is. But like, yeah, certain like things, like if I'm asking someone for, their wholehearted like opinion, if I'm asking for the truth, like they better give me the truth. So.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it definitely depends on the situation for me. Like, if I'm wearing my shirt on backwards, you better tell me. I'll be mad if you don't. Like, but if, like if it's something like more like I don't know, like if I'm constantly looking at the news, the state of the world, how things are going, like sometimes I might not want to always look at it just because of, it's always something bad going on. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it.
Honestly, I will always take truth. I will always take tell me the truth if I ask, because for me that's how I am. Like I'm pretty sure like you know this. Like if you ask me something, I will give you my honest answer about it, because that's just who I am. I like if there's one thing I don't like is fake people. I just keep it real. Keep it real with me, and I can keep it real with you.
Right.
So I know how to move. That's what I do.
So we could all agree that we respect the truth, right? All right. So if Lizzo was here, I'm just gonna bring back Lizzo, right? If she was here, would we tell her like, would you like educate her on eating healthier, and maybe you tell her a bit about how you were able to stay in shape or your eating habits or whatever? Like that, in my opinion, would be like a more positive approach to being able to tell somebody the truth, whether, in this scenario, let's say like it was warranted, like our opinion is wanted, right? So in that opinion, I think it would be best to tell them the truth. Where what I've noticed is that a lot of times, and specifically men, right? Men are more honest with other men about things in their situation and in their life, whereas women may not be able to trust the opinion or what another girl is saying, because she may just be a hater, or she may just be saying something just to kind of, you may have something in your mouth, and just because she's not being honest or truthful, she may just let you walk around with like this crusty ass piece of bread that's hanging from your lip, whereas a man will definitely be like, yo bro, you got something on your face, right? So what are your thoughts on, women and their honesty towards other women? Because like you said, you told him, oh, you're glowing, blah blah blah, but he might be having a breakout of pimples, and you may be saying that to make him feel better, but it's not the truth. So in that, go ahead.
I mean, I think, yeah, like in that sense,
does he deserve the truth? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think, yeah, if someone wants the truth, or like if, yeah, you have some fucking shit on your face or on your, wearing your shirt backwards, like you said, Sarah, it's like, yeah, you want to know that stuff, but I don't think like this idea of like, oh, women are like cats or like whatever, they're very calculated and will lie to other women, and like women don't support other women, is like just definitely not true. I think women, like, you know, I'm not saying like all women love women. Like there's definitely some
You're speaking in
people,
general.
there's definitely people out there I don't like men or women, like I don't care. Like there's definitely people out there I don't like, but I'm not gonna like lie. Like, yeah, sure, I would like fucking lie to like some woman if I don't like her, I would like lie to her, sure. But like my friend, I'm gonna tell that friend the truth. I think guys are the same. Like guys, if you whatever, I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest.
Like if you hold on, I want to finish my point if you don't mind. But like, yeah, guys, if you don't like a guy, you might, you know, be like, oh yeah, your foot goes hard, and it's like actually it looks like fucking shit. Like you're just gonna lie. Like depending, it's not a thing of gender really.
I don't see, but for men, I think it's a bit different. Men usually tell each other the truth. On average, like if you know, yes, there are men that lie, obviously.
Right.
But I'm saying something like that, like a guy is more likely to tell another guy, like, yo, you look like a fat piece of shit, like go to the gym. Whereas like a woman wouldn't say that to another woman.
I mean, I think men are definitely more blunt because men like male friendships, right, are definitely like I don't know. Like I think guys are definitely meaner to each other actually. Like, you know what you said. I think
that's mean. I think that's actually showing love.
To be like, yo, like I would never fucking say that to my friend. Like I would.
Girls wouldn't.
If I mean, I would never comment on anyone's body, like personally, because it's not my business, it's not my body. I'm not gonna talk about that. But like if I were, I would still tell my girlfriend. I'd be like, hey girl, like like whatever, you could be in more shape. Like I don't know.
Are you
I'm not gonna be like, you fat fucking bitch, fucking hit the gym. Like I'm not gonna be like that.
You're gonna be a psychologist, right? Or is that what your plans are? What are your plans?
I mean, yeah, if the whole fashion design thing doesn't work, I want to be a clinical psychologist.
So you're gonna have to be telling people the cold hard truth.
Yeah, and they deserve that, and they deserve to hear that.
Right. Cool. All right. Well, I mean, you know, I know Cory's. He's you know, he wanted smoke today. You know, he was like, I want the smoke, and I know, like I have a sense of the room, and I know that you guys aren't from our generation. You understand? So like,
are you guys millennials?
I don't know what that even means.
Yeah,
what year were you born?
I was born in '88. I'm 35.
Oh, no.
Okay, how about you?
No, wait.
1990.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you
sorry,
guys.
I didn't mean to be ageist or like.
Yeah, because we're Gen Z.
I just wasn't expecting.
Listen,
you guys
I'm
don't.
cool with it. I'm in my prime.
That's great.
I just got here.
That's great. No,
I just got here.
being once you get 30, that doesn't even mean that you're old. Like you're still thriving. If anything, being in your 30s is way better than being in your 20s because you have like money and shit and whatever. Like, you know.
Yeah, 20s, you still figuring shit out, bro.
Exactly. Your brain isn't like fully developed until you're 25.
Yeah.
So
right.
No, I think one of the biggest reasons why we're able to have, like, I'm saying all of us and sorry, you two are able to have like these sort of talks is because what we're seeing right now in the world is there is a big cultural shift going on because Gen Z, some of the millennials, I feel like kind of coming together, kind of addressing social issues in a more open way, more inclusive way. So I think that's where a lot of these sort of conversations stem from.
Well, let me say this. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. And the reason is because I was living in an age without social media, without the internet like that, right? Like how you guys were probably born and it was already, you know, the internet was popping, right? Before the internet, we were able to analyze the minds of people and see how things like we saw the past life, and now we're seeing the new life, and we were right at the cusp of that transition happening. So we are not old. We are not new. We are whatever we decide to be, which is why you would find a woman who's in her 30s or whatever, and she's like hardcore liberal and really into body positivity and you know, you'll find that within my generation. You'll find that in both places. Like you'll find extremely conservative, you know, people who are like, they're more traditional and older and blah, blah, blah. And then you know, because we're right in the middle. We were able to kind of see what's going on. And, you know, when I was coming up, there wasn't a lot of like homosexuality. There wasn't a lot of
not open homosexuality.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
it was always there, but like how Q said, it wasn't open.
Well-
Fair, that's fair.
Well, what I would say is this: if that were the case, right? If that were the case, what you're saying, then you would have men who are in their 50s and 60s now openly, just even guys who are in their 30s, like now being homosexual is like a normal thing. It's not like people aren't really getting shamed like that for that.
Well, yeah, but also depending on how you were raised, like if I was raised in a era where homosexuality is something that's more openly talked about, more included, versus someone who was raised in an era where you kind of had to be DL or on the low, then it is going to be easier for me to exist in this modern age than him. Theoretically, because we were just raised from two different
right
styles of living.
Right. But what I'm saying is there's nothing prohibiting a man who's in his 50s from coming out and saying, whatever. There's no longer a necessity to hide, that. Whereas if he was a homosexual in the 90s, he would be on the low.
Crazy backlash.
Yeah, on the low with it. Now he can come out and be accepted and go into communities and live like a normal life or whatever, right? Without
anything,
judgment.
If anything he's how do I say this? If anything today, he's like congratulated. He's like put on a pedestal now.
Well, finally you came out and
right.
blah blah blah. But you don't see that. You don't see that, right? So then it would just be like, okay, what's going on where there are a significant number of children being born now adopting that idea or just coming out, whatever, whether it's nature, nurture, whatever it is, opposed to like back then, you don't see these guys coming out. So it's like there's something to be said with regards to, is it like society, what's being taught, what we're learning, there's something there. I can't pinpoint it.
Well, in that aspect, I think what you're talking about, I think that's something that's more personal, because from experience, like exploring my sexuality, coming into it, it's sort of like it's a thing that's very personal for everyone who goes through it. Not every gay person is gonna have the same experience or awakening. Some people have it differently than others. Some people have it in sexual ways. Some people experience it reflecting on traumas. It's just something that's different for everyone, and you can't put a community of queer people together and say like, you guys all came out in your 20s, because that simply would not be true, because
right.
you need to look at the individual as an individual. This person who you were talking about, like, they have the ability to come out now. We don't know what their family's like. We don't know if they're still taking care of parents who are homophobic. We don't know if
they'll be shamed for it. They feel shamed for it.
They might have something to lose by doing that. So you just can't.
But on average, right? Like if we were to and I think they've done studies on this. Is why I'm bringing it up, because I've actually read like an article that cited some sources. I can't recall the actual sources, but I mean I could probably pull it up if I did some research. They did state how there's a larger group of like Gen Z is like 100-fold times, like it's crazy, more open to homosexuality than like previous generations before that. And then is it natural? It's like, is it because of society? Is it in the water? Is it just nature? It's, who knows? They're studying now. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, we grew up in a different era, basically, is what I'm saying, where things are different. The mind state is different. And we are a bit more aggressive in our approach to discussions and conversations, in where, me and Cory would probably feel more comfortable in really having like a hardcore debate about some of the things that we're speaking of, where I can see that it may be offensive towards, certain people in the room. So for that reason, it's like, I'm like tiptoeing into subjects where we probably would have had like a full on debate on, certain things. And that's just because I respect you guys are younger, and I know Cory and myself, like I just know how we would love to get into certain conversations, but
I do believe that it's like our generation, Gen Z, like I do believe we have cancel culture. Like it's which is not, I don't believe is good. I feel like our generation has become pretty sensitive compared to other generations.
Right.
I will agree.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
do.
I think, like, if you look at some of those 2000 movies, some of the low-key out-of-pocket comedy was funny.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
that whole movie is funny.
But look,
hilarious.
look, piggybacking up what Q said, but look, if you're a comic today, right, you have to be very mindful of what you say.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're going to get canceled, or at least half your audience is going to be gone.
So that's a way of manipulating the mind. And I think, to your, I believe you're spiritual, right? So, you mentioned the book, like, I don't know if you said The Secret or The Law of Attraction. You said the Art of Seduction. You spoke about that. Well, all those things deal with occultism and the laws and the universal laws and things like that. I know you're spiritual, so you probably have an idea of what I'm saying. And I think that there are principalities, people and places that have power to inject their poison and their venom into society in such a way where we don't really see it. We're here sitting around trying to debate whether or not, relationships should function this way and that way. And these people know how things work, and they're just like, you know what, let's just throw this, this snake in the pit and see how people react. And then let's take the snake out and let's throw a rhino in there and see how people react. And it's like, it's like an experiment with like the youth. I saw it growing up because I was told, I didn't see it, I was in it. And I was told by my elders, oh, they're putting this and this, and they're telling you guys about this. And like, they were giving me like lectures about me cursing, me listening to like 50 Cent and all, like, I was told that was us being brainwashed, right? So I'm sure that I can tell you guys things that you guys may feel like, I could say, this is brainwashing you guys now. I personally think that right now the brainwashing is crazy because we have all this technology where before we didn't. But with that being said, do you guys feel like you guys have anything that you guys think is a program or a system or a conspiracy to like lower society, make society worse, whether it be in relationships, whether it be with the food, with climate change? Yeah.
Grinder.
What's that?
Oh, that's not.
It's a gay dating hook.
Yeah, it's like the gay dating
app. But like,
Okay.
And I think this goes back to my point of hookup culture and how it affects trying to form relationships when you're in a platform, on a space, especially, and I'm not even just I don't think I'm even talking about gay community anymore. I'm talking about dating apps in general. When they put you in a space where all of your options are just there, it makes it really easy to be informal, non-committal. So when you get to a place where you're ready to be committal, to be with someone, it's difficult to find because so many people just want to fuck
Hook
around
up.
and have fun. Yeah.
Hook up.
It just makes forming relationships harder and
Yeah.
establishing relationships harder.
So it's
And
actually counterintuitive to what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
if used in the right way, it's definitely empowering. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that. If it's used in the right way, I feel like it's empowering, because the way I view sex as an art. I don't feel like sex is just an act, because when you think of art, you think of something that's creative and expressive from person to person. There's so many different ways to have sex. Like when you look at straight sex, gay sex, like threesomes, you have dozens and dozens of positions you can try when you have sex. It's an experience that can be very personal to everyone. It's a way for people to express themselves. It's a way like for people to feel intimate with someone else. It's just something that varies from everyone. That's why I feel like it's art.
do you think it's sacred?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good question. I think it's important to be aware of who you have sex with, because then it can be sacred. If I have sex with someone who I'm just like over the moon in love with, who I just really connect with, who we have something special, like something that I feel for someone that I just don't feel for anyone else, that's when I feel like it's sacred to me.
How would you establish that? How would you establish the grounds for the act to be sacred?
I feel like it would have to come with the context. In the context of like what it is I'm dealing with, what it is I'm going to be for this person. I wouldn't consider it sacred if it was just okay, I'm gonna come to your place, you gonna come to my place, we're gonna do it one time and call it quits. Like, I feel like it would be sacred if not even just on my end, but on their end, if it was our minds, bodies, spirits just in it together. It would, like, when it feels like it's like just me and you in the world. Like, I have had that experience before with, like, and it was a good and bad experience. That I've had that experience before where when I was with someone intimately like that, it really felt like it was just me and him, and there was like nothing else that really mattered outside of us. So I feel like even if that situation ended badly, I would consider what we did sacred. And when that was broken and violated, I felt a deep sense of hurt, because I feel like I thought it was more sacred than he did. And I felt violated when that happened.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely think it depends on the person. Like for me, I like my most recent relationship, we we built up a relationship first. We didn't jump into doing sexual things right away, which, like, I know that's very unpopular. Like, I know, like, a lot of people would prefer to do it right off the bat and stuff, but that's just what we chose to do, mainly just because, I'm very, like, particular about that stuff, like, and it takes a lot of, like, trust for me to reveal that part of myself. And we waited a while, and then we started doing sexual things, and that's how it felt sacred and special to me. Like, that's how it felt intimate to me, because we built something. I recently started, I guess, engaging in hookup culture, and I'm not gonna say I regretted it, because I didn't regret it, because I got to experiment. And
do you think that engaging in that culture, and doing those things, do you think that will have an effect on your mind and your relationships moving forward?
I don't think it will, but if I continued, because I'm done, if I continued to engage in it, I think it could possibly.
It depends.
I'm like a very, like, I have that certain view of sex, and I'm a very, like, I tie emotions to things, like the person I was hooking up with, I caught feelings, and I was like, this is not for me, because I clearly can't detach my emotions from these type of acts. I'm used to doing sexual things with someone that I'm committed to, and I'm not committed to this person. So it's clear that I can't, that's just not something I can do. I'm not capable of doing that.
Yeah, that depends on the person as well, because for me, like, I also engaged in hookup culture, but that was like 2 years ago probably, and I feel like it really altered my mind and the way that I think now. And it kind of, I feel like for me, because it was for like a good amount of time, and I feel like it devalued like myself, like how I thought of myself. Like, I felt like I needed a male's like validation to know that it's like, oh, I'm good enough. And I felt like that had an effect on my relationships moving forward. Like, I felt like the need to always be like the best in a certain thing and just all that type of stuff. So for me, like, I personally regret like having that like hookup part. I've always regretted it, and if I would go back in time, like, I wouldn't have done it. But that's just because like I was engaged with it for like a good amount of time, that it really did like alter my brain and how I thought of myself. It made me feel more insecure, and it made me like constantly want the validation from men, which I don't recommend. That's why it's like hookup culture. I feel like in our age, like it always happens in their 20, in like people's 20, in early 20s. Like that's just like how it is. But I feel like if you go through life in your early 20s and you don't experience that, I feel like you will have like a better mind, like you can like love yourself better, and that's why
do you think that it helps with bonding? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, that's so, like, what you're saying is very true. I think what I'm hearing, like, from everyone, it really depends on where your mind is at when you begin. Because for me, when I first got into hookup culture, I was in a place where I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't have really, I don't want to say I had no self-esteem, but my self-esteem was very inconsistent. And hookup culture for me, it was empowering because it really registered to me that other people do find me attractive, so I should find myself attractive. Like, and like, it really helped me come into my own sense of being, sense of self-love, and not self-love in the sense that I love myself because other people love me, but I love myself in the sense that
you're putting in the work to become a better version of yourself.
Yeah, I maybe I should say more self-appreciation. I appreciate myself a lot.
It's cool
more.
to love yourself.
Yeah,
it's the right thing to do, brother. You should love yourself, absolutely. So yeah, I mean,
if you can't love yourself, how are you supposed to love anybody else?
That
period.
That part, right? What about you, brother? What you thinking over there, man? I know you in there. You just like.
I'm just listening to everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm just listening.
Yeah. You know what it is, Cory? You know, like we can 100% go in and have the discussions that we'd like to have, like entertainment type of discussions. But what I find is that these are youth that have a different mind state, and really they're not gonna change. Specifically her. Like I would love to sit there and debate all day. You know what I mean? However, at some point, it'll just get to a place where the conversation is just gonna be, for me, boring. It's like I'm gonna sit there and like have to listen to something that I don't agree with, and I just know, but she knows. So it's two people that know, and it's just conversation is adversarial, and I don't want an adversarial conversation with people who I know don't really have enough knowledge to make certain determinations, and they're young. You understand? So maybe next time we'll get somebody that's gonna go in and kind of argue and have that kind of cool conversation that we want to have.
I'm not gonna say that like because we're young we don't know anything. This is just how we were raised. This is just we were raised in two different generations, and I think that at the end of the day we really have to keep that in mind, that this is why these conversations may feel counterproductive, just because we're raised completely different. There are things that are very accepted now that weren't accepted then, and like vice versa, and that's just how things are.
Is it good though? That's kind of like where the debate would be. The debate is we're meeting halfway, right? Like we're coming from one way, from one thought, you're coming from another, and we're sitting down at the table and we're gonna debate now whether or not what we're experiencing is the proper, or is it the best outcomes for society? Is independence the best thing? Let's weigh the pros and cons of whether or not it's the best for women to even go to college or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like we could come from very different extremes and have a conversation where, for me and Cory, we'd have the debate, and it would trigger us, and we'd feel good, and we're used to that level of that level of debate. Whereas it may make you feel uncomfortable with being told that you're wrong, and in your mind you're right, and then you think that we're wrong. So then it's just a lot going on a psychological level, that it's better for, in this case, to not have those discussions because you guys are young.
But
and have a
also objective. So who's to say either of us are right or wrong?
Well, that's the thing. There is a right and a wrong. You understand? When we go to a courtroom, there are facts that there are facts. You get tried. You get put in prison for your crimes based on the evidence.
A courtroom isn't necessarily a debate, though.
Well,
I'm
no, it's
saying
an
debate-
argument.
I'm saying debate in terms of like what we're doing now. Who's
Right.
to say if we ask that question right now? Who's to say that either side is right or wrong? You can't.
Hey,
you
people
can't-
get done wrong in the court system all the time.
Right.
Absolutely.
All the damn time.
But hold on,
Yup.
hold on, you guys, because I've been listening very intensely, and one thing I will say is that all of you here, right? We all have our opinions or what we believe in, but one thing I will say is that in 10 to 15 years from now, I promise you,
Yeah.
whatever you believe, you still might kind of believe it,
Mhm.
but it's gonna change, Q.
It's gonna
change,
it's gonna
Sarah,
be a lot
little
different,
bit
yeah.
because of your life experience. What you believe right now, and just because I might be 10, 15, whatever years older than you, it doesn't mean that I'm better but I promise you, whatever you believe right now, it's gonna alter a little bit because of your life experience.
I
Yeah.
do.
'Cause
Yeah, I agree with that.
I've been
Definitely.
listening to you. I haven't been talking. I've been listening to you guys very intensely, and I'm saying, okay, they're making valid points. I hear them, but
They don't know enough. Man.
I want to hear you guys at 29, 30, and I want to hear like after we leave the pod and stuff. You guys, we all continue to live our lives. I want to hear like your story from 10 years from now, how you feel.
Like wisdom, wisdom is something hidden that is within us, right? Wisdom is not the thing. Knowledge is the thing that we all see, but the wisdom behind it are the trials and tribulations that we have throughout our life, and it's not a negative. I would like to have been in your positions at this time to see where my mind would be, and I most likely would be probably not exactly where you guys are, but I would be somewhere along the lines. I'd be trending in the trends. You know what I mean? I'd be in there somewhere with you guys, and I would agree with a lot of things that you guys say, and I'd be kind of like on the same boat, right? However, life makes you think of things, and you go through things, and eventually you say, hold on, wait. If I'm seeing this throughout my whole journey, and I'm seeing this, and I've experienced this, and you start looking at the world differently. Right now, you guys may not be interested in reading the stock market, right? May not be relevant. Maybe you may dabble in it, but you're not studying it. You guys are interested in other things. Maybe you're interested in finding more about health. Maybe you're interested in, reading about psychology. Like, you guys have other things, but once you're finished with school, you're going to continue your education in things that you like to read and like to do, and things that you're going to start expanding your mind besides what the school's telling you to read. So you're going to have more time for you. And during that time, during that growth process, when you start realizing, excuse me, you're going to start realizing, wait, hold on. So I was told this my whole life, but it's really like this. Like, I can get into discussions about money. Like, you think you know about money, and I guarantee you, I'll tell you some things that you would want to debate me about this, but you just don't know enough. You never really researched about creditor and debtor. You don't know about none of that. So why would we get into a discussion about things that you don't know? That's how I feel about it, because I just know where you guys are at, because I've been there. You understand? I've been your age, so I know.
I appreciate that you said that, but let me not say but, because that would make it sound like I'm negating everything you said, and I'm not. I just think for this discussion, I think we're all just speaking from a place of experience rather than knowledge. We're talking more on terms of this is what we've experienced thus far.
Right.
Not knowledge aside, like there's obviously so much about the world that we don't know. Like, because there's stuff, obviously we can't read every news article out there. We can't see every post made about everything. But our worldview, how we view the world.
You guys believe in climate change, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
But it's from how we. But it's
your
also
education.
from how we experience the world around us.
Let me ask you a question, and this is just really like a question because you first mentioned climate change, so I would like for you to address this. Do you know that there's an infinite amount of gas?
What do you mean? Like, what type of gas?
Like ethanol, oil, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's an infinite amount of methane, which is the precursor to all that. there's an infinite amount. So how would that change your concept of, no more fossil fuels or whatever? We're using a lot of fossil fuels. Would that change your mind?
No. For like, because there is a lot of like methane and stuff like that. Like when cows fart, like that's like like not to be like good. Like,
do you know how
but it's
methane
true.
is formed? Not in cows, because that's a small amount of methane.
But it can't. But it's starting to make like a bigger difference just because of recently, like people, not because of like them. Okay, this kind of sounds funny, but like not because of them farting, but mostly just because of like them destroying like some of the Amazon rainforest for cow production or stuff like that, but not for like the atmosphere, but more like it has an impact on like the earth, not its atmosphere.
All right. So my question is, do you know how methane is formed?
No.
Like where would methane actually be made? Like where's the most production of methane?
I believe in fossil fuels, but I'm
fossil
not 100%
fuels.
sure.
So like when we say fossil fuels, we mean like, like rotting corpses and things like that.
Like that, and also like just drilling itself and gases, like just using, just.
All right, so
I don't know.
So this is something that I would be curious, or I'd be interested to know like your opinion on it once you research this. Research where the origins, like on Earth, where is the most most methane being produced, and to tell you we've only drilled 5 to 6 miles underground. Methane is being produced 150 miles underground. That's where the most methane is, right? So it seeps up over time, blah, blah, blah. But I'd be curious to know where your thoughts would be once you realize that there may be, I'm not saying, maybe not, but for certain scientists that they know that the whole, we're running out of fossil fuels is a lie, right? So I'd be curious.
No, I do believe that we still have plenty of fossil fuel left.
Infinite amount. We won't even be able, even if everybody on Earth right now opened up a rig, and we just like started pulling it out, there'll still be infinite. Like literally, there'll still be tons. So, but just it's just one of those things where it's like, it's the knowledge of how you can be manipulated through, like the belief that there's something that's causing it's like apocalyptic. It's always an apocalyptic situation we're in. You know what I mean? And
no, I do believe that we're always pressured into thinking that the
world is coming through. Right?
Yeah, I do believe like right now there is actual proof that it's like the ozone layer is like actually is healing itself, thankfully. Like I know people are like concerned or like, oh no, the world is like 100% dying, but the ozone layer is actually, it's slowly but surely it's healing itself, which is really actually it's good.
People have been saying that, like, can you imagine, like, you're learning about like, oh, it's healing itself now, right? Imagine like 10, 15, 20 years ago when people were really like hardcore. Oh my God, we're dying. Oh, like it was pandemonium. People were going absolutely crazy about the situation to the point where like, people started rioting and there's trying to destroy businesses and things like that. So we live in that time where it's like, it's constantly that. We've grown to see like one thing after another. After a while, you start realizing like, you could just sit back and not care about none of the stuff that's happening in the world, and there's always going to be something new. It's like you're not going to hear about climate change in 10 years. You're going to hear about something else. And then after those 10 years pass, you're going to start hearing about something else. And then it's going to be something else. And then it's going to be something else. And then whatever happened to climate change? I thought we were about to die. Like when Y2K happened, you guys weren't, you may have not even been born, but there was a theory, and this is like real shit. People were bugging out about, about this, right?
Like 2012, like, or
no,
whatever, the end of the world.
No, 2012 was another, that was another thing.
It was like 1999, like they
yes.
said all the clocks were going to stop at midnight.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
My brother, if you guys was around at that time, and you saw the things that people were doing, 1998, all the conspiracies, people were already bugging out. The media, the news, it was, oh my God, we're going to die. And what's going to happen to the computers? And the calculators are going to stop working. And then all of a sudden, like after like the next minute, it was like 2020 or 2000 happened, and then it was like 2000, and it was like 12:01. Everybody was like, "My phone still work? Oh my god! Oh thank God!" You know, and it's that kind of level of paranoia that I think that we're sprinkling little drops of it in everything to make people just always in a constant state of fear. And and I think fear is the opposite of love, you know.
If you really look for it, there's just as much good stuff happening that there's bad
Exactly.
Yeah, but they're not putting it on the media.
Yeah, no one's really talking about all the positive things that are happening. It's always just negative. So, you know, I personally, I'm not into the doomsday nonsense. Like, I enjoy life. I'm a positive man. I enjoy, like, my life is great. I don't have problems with relationships. I don't have problems with, like, whatever the hell people have problems with. My life is fantastic. So it's just one of those things where it's like, at some point, we got to get away from all the negative talk and kind of get into what's positive. Like, what are we doing? Like, if there is negative, what are we doing to make it positive? You know, what are we doing to help? So with that being said, anybody have anything else they want to talk about or say?
Follow me on Insta at king_Quinton128.
Word.
I guess I don't know if we're gonna close soon, but I had a couple of fun questions for the 4 guests with us here today.
Okay.
And I need y'all to be honest and very transparent. So I guess we can start with Sarah. So, give me 2 red flags in the opposite gender or whatever you're attracted to that turns you on. What are 2 red flags that turn you on?
That turns me on?
Yes. That's not politically correct.
Okay, I'm not gonna say that this is a good thing.
No, these are red flags, so they're not gonna be
yeah,
good things.
Yeah. Like, I don't condone this behavior, okay, guys?
Yeah.
But I think I'm just used to men being toxic in my life. Like, I've interacted with a lot of toxic men. So whenever like men like
what do you mean by toxic? What do you mean by that?
Like, just don't treat me right, like with respect or anything like that. Like, I think like when you've been in toxic relationships, like I think people get used to getting treated that way. So like for a while they like almost like expect it that's what they expect. That's why it's so challenging for people to.
Wait, so hold on.
What's the psychological thing when you're a victim and
Stockholm syndrome?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, like it's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be challenging. That's what you expect.
That turns you on?
It doesn't turn me on, but I almost like.
But that's the question though.
It makes me chase. So
that's the question I'm
things,
asking.
yeah.
What are 2?
Oh, it makes it chase.
The question is very transparent. What are 2 red flags? And I'm not saying that they're good things. You know what I'm saying? But what are 2 red flags? Something that's not politically correct.
So her being
that turns you on.
So one being the man being toxic. That's one.
Yeah, that's one.
Which is very general. I wish you would elaborate on that. But go ahead. What's the other one?
Yeah, I don't really have that many red flags. So I was just kind of digging for something. I don't know about everyone else.
What's the other one?
A player. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out, helping you out.
I think it was just the toxic thing. I don't really have any red flags necessarily that I like.
Not saying that you necessarily like, but that turns you on, because one thing that we all have to have a communal agreement is that attraction is not a choice. You don't have a choice to what you're attracted to.
Damn, I never thought about that.
You're just attracted to that.
No, yeah, definitely.
I agree with you on that one.
Because
definitely.
Chris, that's the clip, by the way. That's the clip.
That's true.
Attraction is not a choice. You're just attracted to that. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's morally right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? But that's it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, very
it's like
true, very true.
It's like, whoa, you're right. I never really thought about that. You're right.
Yeah. I don't really know if there's like anything else that's necessarily considered a red flag that I mean, I guess like this does not apply to everything, but it's the only thing I can think of, because I've been in relationships where men got jealous, and I don't fuck with the jealousy shit. Like, I don't fuck with that. But however, there has been times where I low-key wanted someone to get jealous. I'm like, damn, why you get jealous? Fuck, you don't really like me?
Why do you want them to get jealous? Why?
It's okay, this is just for a scenario with someone that I wasn't in a relationship with, so it's just because I wanted them to want me. You know, I wanted them to want me. So I'm like, damn, why aren't you jealous?
What did you what did you do to make them get jealous? Like, did you plan things out? Like, oh, I look sexy and I'm gonna go out and blah blah blah, and you didn't care. Like, can you go in on that? Like, what?
No, like just someone was like hitting on me and shit like that. Like someone approached me
Mhm.
and they happened to be there, and
They didn't care.
they didn't really seem like they cared, and I was like, damn.
And you know what's crazy? We're just meeting today, but hypothetically speaking, if I was that guy that was with you, you think that I will let that happen? You don't even know me. What do you think?
I mean, judging by some of the conversations we had, probably not.
It's not happening.
But at the same time, I wouldn't want them to, hey man, that's my girl, and punch the person in the face.
No.
I don't want that either.
No one's saying to be corny, but my thing is that I'm gonna establish my dominance, and you're not gonna disrespect me in front of my face.
Yeah.
Like Sarah's clearly with me, whether we're together or not. I could be taking you on a date, but you're not gonna disrespect me as a man. You're bugging.
Right.
Yeah. Again, I don't always like it. It's just a thing that if we're not in an established relationship, like I guess I want to see that you care.
Right.
You know. But
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
That's cool. Those are cool red flags.
What would you say?
Cool.
Everybody.
Two red flags that turns you on.
No, honestly, I can't think of anything. Like, you guys need to like shout some things out because I really can't.
I'm
think.
saying,
I was
listen.
listening to your whole conversation. I was like, let me think. I can't.
I'm
think
saying,
of
listen,
anything.
you're attractive. I'm pretty sure that guys are in your DMs. What are
attracts
two?
you?
It's a very simple question. What are two things that are not politically correct but kind of turns you on? Like, oh, he had the nerve. Damn, that's kind of hot. Like, it's a very simple question.
No,
It's a very simple question.
Maybe she hasn't
maybe
been
I'm
approached
like
like
super,
that.
I don't know if I'm just super vanilla or like healthy or just because I'm a psych major,
you
but
think-
like in my brain I'm like red flags are like
You know, psych.
run like.
Rod,
Look,
she's so politically correct.
Hold on, you
it's
know what it
crazy.
is?
I'm not politically
I'ma tell you
correct.
what it
I'm
is.
You
just,
spoke
I'm
to
just
your
a normal
publicist before you
person.
came. You
No,
spoke to your publicist
I'ma tell
before
you-
you came on here.
Brother, I'm gonna
What?
tell you what it is.
Facts.
Look. I'm gonna tell you because little does she know. Like I have 1 degree in biopsychology, which is neuroscience, and my other degree is in applied psychology. So
Where'd you go to school, by the way?
I went to school at Pace University.
Okay.
Is that good?
I was just curious. I'm not like,
Oh no,
you know,
I'm
like
just
like judging you. I'm just curious.
okay. Well, what I find interesting about people who think that they know, right? And I think you know about psychology, right? I mean, I think
I mean, I
know.
don't think I know. I'm obviously, I haven't graduated yet.
Right.
I'm planning to go to graduate school, but I accept that I don't know everything.
Right. That's good.
You
That's
know?
like a wise thing.
I'm not a know-it-all. I don't claim to be. I don't know if I like give that energy, but I love learning. Like, I'm still learning.
Mhm.
I acknowledge that I'm young and I haven't experienced, your age range, but I mean, my experience is living
your age range. Damn.
well, like your generation.
we
that's
old.
not, that's
We
not
old.
like, come on.
Oh
But
my
like,
God.
you know
I
what
thank God that I am
I'm
not.
You know what
I'm not
I mean?
in my
It's like,
20s at this time.
like I have my own different experiences. Like growing up, I grew up different than how you guys grew up. So
Right.
I have my own
Views
experiences that
and
you
stuff.
guys could
Right.
never even understand.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just different.
Can you give me an answer? Because you were very animated.
Oh, me?
I need
Oh, I'm
give
just
me
like.
an answer, please.
She definitely has
Okay.
red
I know
flags she
she
likes.
Oh,
Come
no,
on.
no, no,
What is
I do.
what? Give me a red flag that you like.
I was gonna say also jealousy. Like I really do. Like if my man like gets like I do kind of like the aggression. Like I do like that. Like if someone is like aggressive and like yo that's my girl, I'm like I know I'm your girl. Like okay, like thanks. Like it makes me feel like more wanted,
Mhm.
and that's like the biggest thing. And then I guess like
Say it. You're thinking about it.
Don't even think about it. Just say it.
Just say
well
it.
like in sexual matters like I
Okay.
like someone that is controlling in sexual matters like
Alright.
I'm submissive, so I like someone who's very like controlling, and I feel like I'm like used at a point.
Why?
So
Why?
why-
Wait. Let her answer. Why?
I have no, I guess it's just because it's like
She also likes traditional shit. So
Right. But
yeah, like I guess it's like I like the feeling of like being like dominated, I guess. Like I just like not having control of a situation, because I feel like in my life I always want control over my entire life, and I feel like during like that time when I don't have control, it makes me feel like a little bit of free in a sense, I guess. But I know that can be like a red flag to other people, is like being kind of controlling during sexual acts. But to me it's like like
You
want
to be controlled.
Yeah.
That's
I
natural.
mean,
There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, Q.
Men actually like that, so that's like a positive.
Okay, you said red flags.
Yeah, red flags.
That's not politically. That's not politically correct. That turns you on.
That turns me on.
Right.
That's the
Literally.
part that gets me.
No, right.
That turns me on. Okay. I don't mind guys that are party guys. Like, I don't mind guys that go out really and, like, I don't want to say cheat because cheating draws a line, but, like, I don't really care if you go out, have fun. If you go to a strip club, because like,
They gonna cheat though, you know.
well, but like, you know, if I'm dating you, then I'm gonna trust that you're not gonna cheat. And if you do cheat on me, at least cheat on me with someone who's like hotter than me. Like, like that would not just don't.
Why do you? Well, wait, hold on. Let's dig deeper. Why do you feel like that though? Why?
Because if it was someone who was hotter than me, I think I would feel like there was more of a reason. If it was someone who I look at, I'm like, yeah, no, I'd be like, why? I'd be
Embarrassing.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
honestly,
that's
I would
interesting,
be,
man,
I would be
because
offended. I would be like, really?
I-
Like, really?
And that happens a lot too. That's the thing.
that's you know.
But wait.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You
Can I
got
finish
okay. Go
my
ahead.
answer
Go ahead.
first?
Yeah.
So, but I think the reason why I wouldn't say it turns me on, but I think the reason why I would be like, I guess, accepting of that would be because like I would want to do the same. Like I would be like, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship because I like to go and I like to party. I like to have fun. You know, I like to dance with people, like mingle, be close with people, and I wouldn't want to feel like someone was trying to suppress a part of me that like is me.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to lose myself in a relationship, and I feel like that's something that happens a lot when people in relationships aren't allowed to like, you know, go do things by themselves, go have fun, like go party and stuff. Because it's like when if all of that is said and done, like what do you have left outside of that? Like I just don't. That's just what I feel. At
Right.
least.
So real quick,
Wait, one second. If Chris, if you can get him the there's a like a little bench thing underneath that over there, so you don't have to stand, brother. You've been standing. I can't even believe it. You got the strongest legs in the world. Right behind you.
We've been in the gym. He good.
Right, yeah, right in under, yeah, down there. There's like a stool, like under, yeah. In the you open up the cabinet and all the way at the bottom on the right, there's like this white thing. Pull that out and it opens up and you could like sit. Man, I've been watching him standing and I didn't really realize he got some strong ass legs.
We've been over 2 hours. I just want to say this.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
This has nothing to do with sexual orientation. So this is relatable to Q, Sarah, everybody here. Over time, what I've noticed is that women or men get in line when they know you have other people in line.
What do you mean by that, brother?
What I mean by that is, I'll say for my own experiences, women usually get in line when they know you have other women in line. And what I mean by that is social proof is a very real thing, Rob. Social proof is a very real. Prime example. You know, I'm out in Jersey City doing these crazy interviews and stuff. So one time, you know, we decide to we go out there early. I'm doing interviews, and this is the thing: people, they see the interviews and it's very entertaining and stuff like that. But people don't see the rejections I get. People, oh, I'm good, blah, blah. They don't see that.
Yep.
They just see the entertaining part.
Right.
But you got to be a different type of nigga to do this shit because you have to be very secure in yourself. Because I get rejected a lot.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't want to be on camera. Oh, he got the camera out. He's corny. Look at him. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying this to say, I approached a young lady. She was walking with her friends. Attractive. I'll say she's a solid 7. Attractive, right? She's saying, I'm good, whatever. It's like that. Oh my gosh, like, yeah, like, I'm good, whatever. How many followers you have, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
She goes off or whatever. It's like that. A couple hours pass. She curves me with her friends. They're all laughing. It's cool. It's good. Now, when the let out happens, that's when I get the most interviews.
Right. Everybody's drunk and everybody's, yeah.
You know. The club is coming out. Everybody saw us. So now I'm doing. The light is on. Danny, he got the light on. We good. I'm doing my thing. Now there's another group of girls, and if that girl was a 7, and my rating, I rank people very harshly.
Mm-hmm. So she's a 7. Is she? I know your ratings.
Yeah.
Is she look good.
Yeah, she looks good.
Gotcha.
I would consider my like at 1 out of 10. I would say me personally, I'm like a 7, 7.5,
Right.
adjustable 7. So now I'm interviewing another girl that might be a 7.5, 8. The interview's going well, whatever. That same girl that curved me with her friends. Now she's behind the camera, behind D, looking at us. She's seeing the conversation. She's seeing, and now when the interview's over, now she wants to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I don't want to interview, but you're cute. Let me get, social proof is a very real thing.
Yeah. So
when women understand, okay, damn, this guy, he makes other women feel comfortable. The prime example I like to give with this is if I was to ask you like, oh, like come to my yacht party, whatever else like that, right? We're in Miami, and you have all your friends with you, right? Would you feel more comfortable, Sarah, if I'm telling you to come, right, and you come on the boat, and it's a sausage fest? Like there's no girls there. The only girls there are you guys, right? Or would you feel more comfortable if you come on and you know that there's other girls there? Honestly.
Other girls, definitely.
Right. And
that's social proof, yeah.
That's social proof because she's saying, okay, this is one thing I do give to y'all. Women, you guys are more socially calibrated than men. Meaning you can walk in the room and say, okay, this motherfucker crazy. He's kind of cool. This motherfucker, I don't know. We're built differently, and men don't get it. Mm-hmm. And that's a superpower that you guys have that we don't.
That's true.
So my thing is that, okay, if I'm inviting you to my yacht and you see other girls who are attractive, who are chilling, it's gonna make you feel more comfortable. And the key, Ra, to having, like, whether it's sexual or having women on you, is comfortable. You have to make a woman feel comfortable. If you make her feel comfortable, she might be fucking with you. Might give you the opportunity to see what's up.
Right.
And this is something that I had to learn as I got older.
I think all men really have to learn that. And I think that where they're at, the guys that they may have around them can't really provide anything to them. You know what I mean? They're not really established, probably don't have businesses, may just be getting by. They're college students, so they're broke, like, on average. You know what I mean? So, and they lack wisdom, and unfortunately, a lot of times, even men who are in their 30s aren't very wise either. So it's like, I feel for women, especially young women. I understand where they're coming from and their perspective and their point of view. I try to at least empathize with their situation. But I just also can acknowledge that there's just a lot of dumbass people in the world. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of them. So, and
to piggyback off what you're saying, it's supposed to be like that. Yeah. I always say, like, a 21-year-old man and a 21-year-old woman are two different things.
Oh, yeah.
All right, women, you guys are born with your value, and men, we must create our value. And what I mean by that is you could be 19 years old, you could be attractive, and you can be on the yacht. Just because you're attractive.
Mm-hmm. Be around millionaires.
They're going to be millionaires. But
they're here right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's going to be men with money who you're gonna be able to get opportunities based off your looks.
Yeah.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Now you're getting invited on the yacht. You're 19 years old and you're getting invited on the yacht. But him and I, even Q, we have to be the people who have the yacht. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of hindsight, it's a different type of meaning. You as an attractive young woman, you're always gonna get more opportunities than a man who's 21. Now, am I saying is that all cases? No, of course you have your anomalies, but this is something that I had to understand as I was older, because I used to be the guy in high school like, yo, I was a sophomore in high school like, yo, I'm talking to this one and that one. Why does she want to talk to the senior, or why does she want to talk to the guy in the freshman in college? Because the guy in freshman in college, he might be more established. He might have a little hoopty, have a car. I don't, and that's the difference.
And we experience that now, like, or guys experience that now through, like, frat parties in a way. Like, you need ratio to get in. Ratio, so for guys, it's like they need one guy needs like 3 girls, or one guy needs like 5 girls to just get into a party.
The one we went to the one time, it was like 6. It was like a 1-to-6 ratio. It was crazy.
Now that's crazy. 1-to-6 ratio. Like, I mean, I don't have to say it. Y'all know that. I mean,
you know why they do that though is because if you give women a lot of options, no one gets laid.
they're terrible people.
If you get,
I hate to say it.
well,
Terrible.
well, in regards to like the frat parties and just obviously it's a party. You're in college. People are trying to get laid. So what ends up happening is if you have less men and more women, the women become more willing to engage in sex with the guys that are there. They give their because women are in competition with themselves low key. So if there's a lot of guys, there's too many options. Women aren't trying to really. You got something to say?
No, I was just saying that. I mean, I feel like Patty and I kind of agree that women aren't really in competition with each other. I feel like if we're at a party, right, and there's one really hot guy, like one whatever brother that's really hot, whatever, he has it all, and there's a bunch of girls who, yeah, sure are attracted to him, but I feel like whoever he chooses, it's like I'm not gonna be like, oh fuck that bitch, like I'm gonna be like, all right, it wasn't meant to be.
Now,
Like, thank you, next.
You approaching.
Yeah. Yes, and
What I will say is you approaching that is very mature of you.
mm-hmm.
But we have to be realistic. It's not just women. All of us. We are all in competition, and that's the thing.
At
women,
all times. Yeah.
women are. You guys are allowed to live in this fairy tale world where it's like I live my truth and I'm not in competition. No, we're all in competition. Me as a man, if I'm not on point, don't got my money together, I'm not in shape, the world is going to let me know that. They're going to reinforce that to me and tell me I'm a loser.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as body positivity for a man. And you know
There
what?
definitely is. Have you heard of dad bods?
Yeah.
Let's talk about
But
that.
hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we love dad bods.
We
But
do love
That's
dad
cap.
bods.
That's cap because guess what? If I align 100 women, right? And I say you can have a dad bod or a guy who he doesn't have to be
It's
super.
preference,
You'd be
though.
surprised.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, buddy.
You'd actually be
Listen,
very surprised.
It is preference. It is preference. But I'm telling you right now, at the end of the day, she might wife the guy who's a dad bod, but she's always gonna have a desire to want to fuck the guy who's in shape.
Bro, it
9
depends.
times out of 10.
If the
That
guy
is-
who has a dad bod has better dick game, like, bitch,
But
I'm with
how-
him. The fuck?
But hold on, time out.
It don't matter.
Listen,
Wait,
listen, you're right, but how do you know that until you fuck him? You don't know that.
Right.
Exactly,
Well, this
you
is
don't know that.
to her
It's
point.
experience.
To her point, the reason why women would mostly choose a man who has a dad bod is because she would associate his body with being fed, being taken care of, which then would mean that he would have a woman in his life, and then the social proof aspect of that would come into play. Where this guy can get girls, that's why he's looking hefty and healthy.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Whereas the guy who's really working out, he's trying to it's like when two deers kind of go at each other, he's really trying to show the world his masculinity, his body, he's trying to peacock in a way. Whereas the guy who has the dad bod, he must have something going on because someone's
Right.
taking care of him. You know what I mean?
Like at the end of the day, if you had two prototypes of guys, right? Both of them are making six figures. Their dick is over 6 inches or higher, pause, and they're 6 feet tall. I'm not saying y'all are, but most women, if it's the same guy and we're just basing it off of bodies, most women are gonna go with the guy who's in shape.
Yeah, because that's
most
that's
women.
the standard of attraction. That's
Okay.
like the standard of beauty for
All right.
guys, right? Because that's what we see in Calvin Klein ads. That's what we
I think
see
on
modeling.
average,
That's
I
what we
don't
see.
even think it has to do with really like. I think it's not for guys. I think it's women are attracted to healthy, in
That's it.
shape, fit men.
And there's
I don't
nothing
know.
But
wrong
you could
with
say
that.
that about like guys' attraction to women as
If
well.
if
Like,
that
it's
wasn't
just,
the
like,
case, men
listen,
wouldn't go to the
yeah.
gym.
I'm not, but the statement that you just said, I'm not gonna deny that because you're right. And the point I'm trying to bring home is that there's a burden of performance on men, but there isn't women. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think there is though, because
there
for
isn't.
women,
What
no,
is it?
for
What is
for
it?
women,
Yeah.
women, you have to be perfect. You have to be
No, you
thin. You
don't.
have to have tits. Yes,
we
you
have a
all
lot
those
of
You know?
things.
expectations.
You have to
Tits,
have-
ass, bro.
Like
I'm gonna-
there's a
listen.
reason why the like a woman who's a 10 compared to a guy who is considered a 10, like that guy would still be considered a 5 on the women's scale. Like women have to do all these things. They have to be perfect.
Can you explain
skin,
that?
perfect
I'm sorry.
body.
Like
I don't know. It's just like
if you said for a guy, if a guy was a 10,
right. He would still be
and-
considered like lower. Like like I think a woman is always going to be more attractive than a man.
Why do you think that? Why?
Well, our
I think that's
attractions
just-
our attractions are different. So I don't think it's a more, we can't really judge it because our attractions are different. Like I wouldn't expect you to have abs and be fit and be 6'2". I wouldn't want that because my attraction is not that. I mean, most men's attraction is not a woman who's looking masculine and kind of brolic and strong.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just like a
I'm not
thinner
saying
girl.
that. It's just like we put women on a pedestal, right? That's why we have like eating disorders. That's why we have Instagram baddies and all these things, and that's why we have BBLs. Like we have all these expectations.
But I
put
think
onto
women are doing that to
So
themselves. I don't think
No,
men are
Facts.
doing that.
Women did not invent makeup or
Do you know why?
fashion.
Okay, I'm
like that
hold
was
on.
all created by men.
No,
And-
it's
and men
it's
still
it's your
enforce it, because
it's
if
your
you-
decision. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you speak. First, the reason why women wear makeup, it started in Europe, and it started with blush. The reason why women wore blush is because back in the day, women had a hard time breathing when it got cold, and they would get red. So what women started to do is they would put blush on to always be red. And then it went from it just being a sign of showing that you have an inability to breathe, because that's what would happen. They just wore it just so that the men wouldn't know that, oh, maybe she's not, because men started choosing women based on, like their health at that point.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? So that's
even-
just like an example
Like even if
of
you
where
are
the
right
makeup
about that,
came from.
I want to like look into that because I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah,
About,
yeah, you
about
should.
the origins of that. I will.
But
After
I think there's
this,
also
but-
like origins in like Asia as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like okay,
Well,
even if
the
we're
point
talking
is
about
ma-
something that happened back then, right?
Ma-
Who cares, right?
Ma-
We're talking
makeup
about
is being
right
put
now.
on by
We're talking
girls. Like
about-
no one's forcing you to wear makeup. You wear makeup because it's gonna accentuate your beauty, right?
like
And you're and
yes
we're not
and
asking.
no.
We're not
no
asking.
one's
women.
asking, but it's like subconsciously there is pressure.
But that's not men.
it's
You-
the patriarchal society. It's not
Hold on.
one man
It's-
saying girls have to wear makeup.
No.
It's like
Yeah, I don't think it's
like
all men.
you see in magazines. It's like all these makeup products you have to get. And
No,
it's
no,
like,
no one's
who's writing-
telling you
who's
to
writing
have
these
to get that.
articles?
These are things that women are choosing
No,
because women want to. Absolutely.
No.
I
I
no
would-
man is saying like.
Let me just say, hold
I
on.
want.
This is-
as a woman that
I
wears
want to
makeup,
get. Hold on, wait
Crazy.
1 second.
I would
No
love
guy
to
is
not
saying-
wear makeup every day.
Hold on,
I would
you
love
should.
to just walk outside and not
You
do
should.
that. But there is a pressure because people treat you differently when you wear makeup and when you don't. As a
But there
woman.
should be no pressure
Absolutely.
if you're a strong,
That's what I'm
independent woman.
saying.
If
There
you're a strong,
shouldn't. There
independent woman,
shouldn't.
there shouldn't be no pressure.
You
This-
should.
There is
Yo, this is crazy. I'm listening, but this is crazy. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
okay.
We're all competing. We all want to impress the opposite gender, same gender, whatever. I'm gonna tell you right now, niggas buy nice cars, fancy chains for
Right.
women.
Right,
They don't
'cause
do it. Look, they
there's a
don't-
pressure
wait,
to do
they-
it. Like it's for yourself, but
But-
also it is to impress
It's-
other girls, right?
It's
We can admit
yes.
that. Yes,
I would
we
tell you
agree.
this right now. If there was no women on the earth,
I'm
most,
chilling.
Most men would be good with living in a fucking cardboard box.
Okay,
Yeah,
so same thing for
facts.
women. We would literally be walking out like
So-
with,
okay,
you know,
So that's
with no
his
makeup.
point. That goes to his point.
So
like,
we
That
agree,
goes
so
some-
we agree.
So
Yeah.
you're agreeing. So what I'm saying is that this, whether women want to admit it or not, you put uncomfortable heels on, you put tight dresses on that are uncomfortable.
the origins of heels is actually pretty crazy too.
Right. You
I
put
know
all
that
that stuff on because you want attention, whether it's from
Oh.
other men, whether it's from other women or men. Now you can admit that or not, but I'm telling you this right now,
Yeah.
because I love when girls say, "Well, girls
I
night
do it
out,
for myself.
I do it for myself. I go out. You could be in the house with a boombox, be all dolled up and with your girls. But why don't you do that instead of going out to the club? It's because you want attention from other men. And the thing that kills me is that women know this and they don't want to admit it. But but wait. I just told you why men buy Lambos and Wraiths and have nice jewelry on and get shape ups and stuff, because we want pussy.
Right, and women want dick. Like I agree with you, but I'm saying that like
What are you saying though? What are you
like
what are you really saying?
there's a pressure on both sides, right? We can admit that, and that's an issue as a society. That's an issue that we have to like, be uncomfortable and spend money on things that like don't fucking matter. Like it's cool to have a fucking Lambo, right? But like, do we need that? Like no, just to impress someone, like that's dumb. We can admit that. Like I agree with you, but
All that
I do agree that women like makeup and the way that we dress, like it is like a thing of like, you know, it's an art, right? Putting on makeup is an art sometimes. And, you know, most women who are putting on makeup to go to work or to leave their house, whatever, it is to look acceptable in society. And it's to attract whoever, right? But then there's also a thing of like, you know, like I do my eyeshadow or put on my like certain lipstick because I like it. It's not because I think, Jeremy, he's gonna love my blue eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Like what?
Okay, wait, can I
Like
say
men don't know shit about makeup. So
Who's
like,
Jeremy? That's your man's?
No, it was just a random white boy name.
Go ahead,
Can I say
Q.
something?
Go ahead, Q.
Like listening to everyone speak. The biggest theme I'm picking up that I think all of us can agree on with dating is that the world nowadays is just very shallow. It's very shallow. Like you said, so with like girls wanting to be provided for financially. You said it for guys who want someone who's just attractive, tits, ass, the whole 9 yards. I think that's something all of us can agree is a problem with dating, is that not one person or another, but everyone, the world as a whole is just shallow. Right. And that's something that creates a problem for everyone in dating. So I feel like instead of attacking everyone, I feel like as a society, and like this may very well be impossible to do, but as a society, we need to try to figure out how we can be less shallow, how we can be more accepting of everyone when it comes to, like, you know, girls not wearing makeup or dating broke niggas. Like everyone just needs to be less shallow and like people for who they are.
Q, I think you're very wise, and I could appreciate your responses. You always contribute in a positive way, man. Thank you for that, for real. I have a question for you. What would be a solution to women, or for women, if you deem this to be a problem? Women who want men for their money, right? Not necessarily for who they are as a person, because let's be honest, it is a little demeaning to be wanted for what you have or what you've accomplished, and not for who you are as an individual, right? That kind of sucks. I'm well off and I've experienced it, so I'm very selective and I choose. I'm very like particular. So, what would be a solution for that? How can men or women or society, what would be some things that you would say or think that can alleviate or teach or whatever that situation that we're facing?
So, are you talking and I'm just asking this for clarification. Did you ask that specifically about money? Like about like
specifically dating someone for what they have, okay. Because this is and I don't know you guys, I don't know your generation, but what tends to happen is men with money have all the options, right? And I see it, I live it. I'm seeing how like guys who are in their early 20s, they may not really have access to the girls who are in their 20s, because all the girls are looking up. They're looking at the guys who have the money, right? So it's different. It's a different experience. For the guys who are like in college trying to grind and make it, they're not getting the attention from like the most beautiful of women. Those beautiful women are giving their attention to the guys who are flying them out and this and that, and then they're giving their bodies to these men, not necessarily with a connection involved. It's just like, oh, give me money, I'll give you sex. It's a transaction. That's all it becomes, right?
Yeah.
So if you even deem that to be a issue or something negative, what would your solution be to that?
So I will start by saying that I myself, like, I'm not innocent of that. Like, I'm not innocent of only messing around with someone because there is something I can gain from that. Like, I've done that before, especially for money. Like, I never sold my body, prostituted, like stripped, never did anything like that. But it was a situation where this person I was dealing with, he was sort of enjoying my company, but he was also, he also wanted to give me money and stuff because he enjoyed my company. But I think when it becomes a problem, like where gold digging becomes a problem, is because gold digging lacks the honesty factor in that. What I feel like, if you want to be in a situation where it's transactional, I feel like with open communication, honesty, people can totally make that happen. Like, I feel like that's not anything that would be an issue in forming. It's just, I think the communication just isn't there.
Well, the question is more to eliminate that.
Oh, to
Because if
eliminate
that's
that,
the case,
okay.
then I'm going to be having sex with all the girls and the rest of the dudes is going to be out here struggling. Because what if I just gave girls, money just to have sex or just for their time? Like, what's going to happen to all those guys who, may be in love with that woman that I just transactionally purchased instead of, courted and actually respected and cared for and loved and, blah, 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 blah. We can attribute all the courtships to that. But
to eliminate that,
do you think there's...
I wouldn't say I don't think there is a way to eliminate it. I think it's I think it would be very hard to, because like at the end of the day, people are individuals. Like, we're gonna do what we want to do regardless of if someone tells us we should or should not do it, because everyone's an individual. I think a way as a society we could try to maybe fix this is like just try to be in tune with people more for who they are rather than what they have.
One of the things when I asked that question, what was coming to mind? I was thinking about all the guys in Gaza, right? All the women in Gaza. And I think of the devastation that they're going through and all that. And I consider the dating, the guys that are our age, whatever, younger, your age, that are looking to court a woman. And now these women that are in that situation, they don't have nothing to gauge whether a man is wealthy or not. Everyone is in destitution. So at that point now, it's the spirit. Who are you as an individual? Who are you as a man? And in the Bible it says, and I don't know if you guys read the Bible or not, in the Bible it says that it is easier to squeeze a camel through the eye of a needle than it is for a wealthy man to get into the kingdom of heaven. Right? So when we're looking at a population where there is no more wealth and everybody's at the same level, everyone is struggling, right? Everyone is just like broke. Then I think genuine relationships could happen. But as long as there are wealthy, there's the haves and the have-nots. In my personal opinion, I don't think there's going to be a solution to that.
I can honestly agree, especially in a society that like materialism is like everything in the society, and it sucks to say it, but that's just how it is. We see ads for everything. Someone driving a Toyota Camry is going to look lamer than someone driving a Maserati. Right. That's just how it is. I can pull up in my 2010 Scion TC and park next to a Tesla, and I'll feel a little embarrassed. You know what I mean? So that's just how society is. And I honestly agree with you. I don't think anything will ever change unless we lost everything.
That's what the Bible says. The Bible says that at some point, and it specifically in this specific verse mentions women. It's Isaiah 3. And it's talking about women, and it says that women will lose their ability to walk menacing. And then when you look at the words, it just basically means walk with heels. Women will lose the ability to have hair wraps and garments on their head. It says that they'll lose their jewelry. And it says that they'll be walking around with garments that have a rent, what is known as a rent. And a rent is a rope that is tied around like a bag, like a garbage bag or whatever. It's like basically a rope to just cover cover yourself because you don't have clothes. So, the Bible says that at some point, destitution is a real thing. People are going to be in a position where, you may not have anything at all. And we're seeing it in certain places like in Gaza and other parts of the world where people really have nothing. But here where we have it all, we can't even love one another, respect one another, appreciate one another without the money being in the way.
Quoting Janet Jackson, she said, "You don't know what you got till it's gone."
Right.
Like right. That's just so real. We wouldn't really we wouldn't appreciate who people are for people, I think is what Sarah's saying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If we still have everything we have. Like, you know, I probably wouldn't, I'm even going to admit this, I probably wouldn't think too hard about someone dressed not as nice as me if I didn't have, like, nice clothes.
The word nice, for your edification, means foolish and stupid. Right? But this is one of the things, like, you know, wisdom will teach you that over time. Just look up the etymology of the word. It might seem crazy because everyone in your life, you know, you guys are college students and college educated. So you guys are the smartest people, right? Supposedly. And you're being taught to cast spells on each other, to say words that you think are positive, but you're actually casting a negative spell on someone. Have a nice day. Good morning. Mourn means to be sad. But you're telling people to have a good morning. You understand? So it's like words have power. We're being influenced by forces that are unforeseen. We don't even know. I'm not trying to get into all that stuff, but I'm just saying there's a lot to learn in relationships. There's a lot to do. We've been going on for like 2 hours, right? 2 plus 3 hours.
Well, I know
Yeah.
we got to close soon, but
Yeah.
I just had just two quick things real quick. One, I just wanted to say, like, there's not a problem for me if a girl says, I don't want a broke nigga.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
There's no problem with that. There's not a problem for a man to say, well, I don't want a whore. I don't want a girl who has a high body count.
Mhm.
And the reason why is because, like how I alluded to before, attraction is not a choice.
Yeah.
And attraction is not symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning what women want and what men want are two different things. Attraction is asymmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem today, because this is the thing. If I was to get you pregnant, right, that's a huge risk for you. Can this man provide? Can he provide for me and my child? Like, if I bust a nut, I'm good. You're taking a risk. You got 9 months, you're swollen, hormones are all over the place. You're taking the biggest risk, not me. So it's not wrong of you to say, yo, can this man provide for me? And that's what, that going back to today, where I don't want no broke niggas about, I'm not mad at that as a man, because as a man, if I'm trying to take you serious or court you seriously, I should have my shit together.
But that's because you're part of the upper echelon of men, whereas the majority of men are in a scarcity mind state. They don't get women. They're not 6'2". They're not dark and handsome. They're struggling and they're not in shape. Blah blah blah. And you know, I'll give you all the accolades in the world. And the majority of men are not that. So even though maybe for us it's not a problem, you know, speaking to the more general population of men, these men are struggling, and to the point where suicides are rising, and it's getting worse over time. Men and women's relationships are being destroyed. The more women, you know, the women as a whole think all men are having sex, when in actuality there are less men having sex now more than ever before. Way less.
And the reason why is because the reason why women feel like that, Roz, because most women, they just base experiences
on their reality.
Yeah, on their reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because you deal with a nigga who's fly, or niggas who fly, so you feel like, oh, it's easy for a guy to get a girl. No, but the true reality is that the guy who works at CVS or McDonald's, he's invisible to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know that he's there.
Yeah.
You don't know what he's going through. And the thing is that our situations, our experiences in life are very different. Me as a man, women can say whatever, but this is my thing. It took me years to get to a point where I'm confident. I got my looks on point. I got my money on point. I'm good. It took me years. So I'll be damned if I'm going to go out with a girl who has OnlyFans. Why am I going to give you the world when you're showing your butthole online for $5.99? You're bugging.
Yeah.
And listen, all respects to you. If we're being morally respects to you, but you can't expect me to be like, oh no, like I'm okay with that. I'm never gonna be okay with that, because I worked hard to get to this point. And the thing that women don't understand is that I had to work this hard in order for you to recognize me. Mm-hmm. Because it don't work the same. There's no such thing as a cute nigga getting by and a girl's gonna listen. If you guys don't leave with nothing that I said today, just leave with this. As a man, I could be a king
and make a peasant woman a queen. But a queen will never look a peasant man's way.
Damn.
She'll never look
Yo,
a peasant
say that
man
again,
way.
because that was deep.
As a king, I could turn a peasant woman into my queen.
Mm-hmm.
But a queen will never look a peasant man's way. I could walk into McDonald's, a millionaire, and see a bad chick. She's a cashier. She's pleasant. She's submissive. I'm like, damn. And I can say, you know what, baby girl, take my number. Take my Instagram. I'm about to change your life. But I promise you, 9 times out of 10, Meghan Markle, whoever has money, bread, she's not walking into McDonald's with the cute guy saying, oh, yeah, I want him. Come on. It doesn't work the same.
That's true.
Am I lying?
Nah, I agree with you. Do you guys agree?
I agree in some sense. Like I do, like, no, because it's like I agree, but in terms of like, I feel like girls, we do like think highly of ourselves. So when even if we meet a guy that is like hot, but we're like making a lot of money, and it's like, I think like girls and women as ourselves, like we overthink a lot. Like we'll think like, oh, is this person like good enough, or is this like we just overthink a lot.
It's not even about overthinking. I agree with you, but it's not even about overthinking. You know what it is? This is the thing. When women make more money, and you guys become more successful, your dating pool closes. You know why? Because women expect so much more than men. He has to be confident, ambitious. He has to be tall. He has to be this and that. So if you want all this stuff and you making $150,000, right? You want your man to at least be making around that, or if not more. Am I right or wrong? Where me, on the other hand, if you were to lose your job tomorrow, but you're still sweet, submissive, like you'll still take my leadership, I don't care about that. Because I have enough money to support us. And alluding back to what Ross said, this is why when men make money, we're like, okay, I finally make money. I can have a girl now. I can have a family, blah, blah, blah. When women make money, they say, oh, I'm independent. Independent of who? Independent of what? Of men.
Yeah, women are actually going to college now. Something that we all could, like, we could sit down and there's probably more negatives than pros. Going to college to be independent, and really it's to be independent of men, which is like, it's weird.
That's all it is, bro.
Yeah.
When they say I'm independent, I'm a boss, babe. Who are you independent from?
Like, who
Men.
really likes to work?
Come on.
Anyway, like,
Now,
why
if-
would
now,
you
if
want
I do.
If I was to
I
go,
do love to
I actually do really like to work. Be goal driven, yeah, I do.
and that's fine. But if I was to be a man and go on
Yeah,
TikTok
good-
and say I'm
Good luck with work.
I'm an independent king, whatever, people would be in the comments laughing at me.
Yo, but you know what? She said she really likes to work. Okay, I hear you, right? You want to have your goals and your dreams, and you want to do something for you. You want to build something, right? Is that what you mean by work?
Yeah.
Okay, you're 19 years old.
Yeah.
Have you had like an employment?
Yeah, I've literally been working since I've been 14.
What did you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I've been a server twice at
Mm-hmm.
2 different places. I was a cashier. Now I work,
So
at Panera. I know it's not an established job, but like we said, I'm young still.
That's okay. Respects to you for working. The point is, you have to wake up. You have to be under someone's tutelage. Someone's sitting there telling you what to do. Someone is sitting there managing you, right? Okay, that position should be for your man. You understand? There's a difference between working for someone else and working for your family, right? It's because it's not the fact that you're not gonna work, but there's a certain satisfaction that you'll have being able to work for your husband, working for your family, working for your business, where you can actually genuinely, at Panera, I'm sure there are times where you're like, I could go there and clean that because there is nobody here at the cash register or whatever, but F all that. I'm not going to do extra work. You're not paying me enough. Whereas if it was your own business, you go over there and clean that up because you want your image to be good. You want your business to flourish. Someone's going to have to clean it up. Why not you? Right? So there's a different spirit, a different energy. So what I say, I'm not saying for women to like be lazy, not work, but who the hell wants to work I don't work for no one. I will never in my life work for somebody. I'll always be my own like business owner. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, here's another thing. What about when you have children, right? you think like that now, like, oh yeah, work, I love working. What about when you want to spend time with your little one? Does your little one deserve to be with his mom, or is it, oh, I'm just gonna give my child to a nanny, which the nanny, she's working, so now the nanny's gonna be working. Is she happy taking care of your children? Why would she be happy taking care of your children when she could be taking care of her own children in her own house with her own man, under his tutelage, under his leadership and guidance, under their business, family business, da 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 da. Like, we're talking about, family business opposed to this corporate shit that you guys are being fucking fed, which is a bunch of bullshit. You're not gonna be happy when it's time for you to have children working.
Here, wait, can I?
Yo, Rob, real quick, I swear, and I'm gonna let you go, Q. I swear, you're speaking facts, but they'll see it as they get older because they can't really comprehend that right now. She's in her prime. They're entering their prime. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're in college, they're living life, and I get it because we've all been
We've
there.
been there, bro. I know.
But
That's
as
why I
you
was
start
telling you
to get
about the
older, you're gonna
conversation.
realize, like, yo, I got a family. I need somebody to hold me down because when I have this baby in my stomach and I give birth or whatever else like that, maybe I want to work, maybe not. But I'm telling you, and I'm not a woman. I'm telling you, as a woman, you're gonna love if you have the benefit of the doubt to have that option. Working for you is not mandatory; it's optional.
Right.
Go ahead, Q. What were you gonna say?
I feel like a lot of this conversation kind of, and I don't want to speak for my friends here, but like what I feel like what I'm hearing, what I'm interpreting, it feels like I think a lot more of this is connected to a sense of identity as opposed to anything physical. Because historically, like, women identities were attached to the family or marriage, and when your identity becomes attached to something like that, it really makes you feel like you have no value as an individual. So I feel like independence is really important because it lets you create an identity for yourself and create an identity outside of anyone else.
Hold on. That's under the, I guess, idea that being a mother, right, is not as valuable as being a PhD.
No, I wasn't talking specifically, like, I wasn't talking about parenting. I was talking about having a job, having, like, going to college, having a career for yourself.
You think that's to just get more clarity with regards to what you're saying? So you're saying that getting a job, having a career, is attached to, for a woman's identity, having a career is like a net positive opposed to being attached to their family, and they may seem like that's not enough?
No, what I said was it makes you feel more like yourself as an individual instead of like your name constantly being attached to other people. It's sort of like a sense of like you have your own accomplishments, you have your own things that you do, like you feel more. Please like help me out if I'm wrong, please, because I definitely don't want to say this the wrong way, but I think it feels like you're doing things for yourself, and it gives you that sense of self, because like I feel like you see it a lot with people in relationships when they're senior year of high school and then they're dating while they're in college. When you grow in a relationship, like during those formative years especially, with someone, your identity can become attached to them. And if something happens,
is that a negative?
I feel like everyone needs to have their own sense of self. You need to know. Yeah. It's important for you to know who you are. Hold on.
Someone. So you don't think that someone can get to know who they are without while being attached and walking along the same path as the people that they're choosing to walk the path with? You think that it's too close? It's two people walking too close together down the same path where they're not able to kind of branch off and do their own and learn from their own experiences and things like that?
I wasn't talking specifically about people who are like married or in a relationship necessarily. I'm just saying that that sort of thing does happen when you're in a relationship with someone for so long and you have nothing, like you do nothing like for yourself. essentially. You know, um,
I
And-
was
yeah.
I like I
You
agree
understand
on
what you're
that.
saying? Can you
I feel like in terms of like if you think about motherhood, because we were talking about like motherhood,
Mhm.
it's a lot of mothers like they go through postpartum and they feel as though is that their life, and it's not a bad thing, but their life and identity is their kids. Like if I give like my mom as an example, like she was always like a workaholic, like she loved working, but she of course she did it for her family, but it's like now she's telling me, she's like, oh no, do all this stuff because I want to live through you, because she felt like she put her entire identity as just being a mother. And so I feel like what he was trying to say is that like it can kind of feel like degrading to only just be just a mother. We want to be like a mother and someone that has their degree, or and this and that, and someone who has their own hobbies, and not just motherhood as a thing, or just like just being in a partnership, like stuff like that.
But hold on,
Exactly how I was
your
trying to say
your mom, alluding back to what you said, your mom made that sacrifice. And my question to you is that if she didn't make that sacrifice and was selfish and worried about all herself, like worried about like her degrees or maybe other stuff that she wanted to do you think that you would have still came out to be the same person you are today?
I mean, can
This
you
is-
repeat that
it-
again?
it's a-
Like,
it's
I
a-
guess what he's saying
It's a
is-
very
Yeah.
simple. Listen, it's a very simple question. Do you think that if your mom, if she didn't put her dreams, I don't know your mom, whatever her dreams were, if she didn't put that on the back burner, right, and she decided to be more selfish and was to be a part-time mom, or not have as much intensity as a mom as she did, do you think that you would be the same person?
I mean, it's difficult in terms of my mom is actually doing like her dream right now, like her.
Right, but you're
her-
older. You're older. I'm saying when you're
Oh no,
younger.
she's no. When I was younger, she's always loved real estate. So her and my father, when they were together at the time, they made their own company together, named after me. It was afterwards, but it's like, so I'm trying to imagine it and answer your question. It's just difficult in terms of my mom completed her dream before I was even born, and so like and then she's continuing it now, but. So I feel like that's what made me that.
When you were born, did she halt, and was she like a stay-at-home mom and took care of you, or was she still in her career?
She was still in her career because it was me, her, and my dad that they had their own business. So like you said, like they were on their own bosses, and so it's like they could make their own schedule, and so like there was nobody to take care of me. There was no like nanny. Like she did.
She took care of you?
She took care of me, but so did like my father. Like they would switch off. So yeah.
They were like what, real estate agents or something?
My dad was a contractor and would build houses, or he would like if you know like
are you
the
from
fixer.
South America? Is your national like you're Spanish?
My mom is from Puerto Rico, and then my dad is just Italian. So
Okay.
but my dad used to flip houses, and
He was a contractor.
yeah. And then my mom would be the real estate agent and sell it, but we would live in it for 3 years, so we didn't have to like pay like all that little stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had that company, they did that together, and then I was born.
Okay. And
Quick
okay.
question, but before we, because I know it's almost over. I honestly want to know, and you guys can be brief about this, and I need you to go in. But what are 2 things you wish that men will understand more about women?
That we can be independent of men
Okay.
without it being an issue. Like I think you guys being like, oh, why do women have to be independent? Independent of who? It is not about you guys actually. It's about just like any person, regardless of gender, just wanting to be themselves and have their own like money and fucking life and whatever. Like I don't know, it like to me I feel like it seems like you guys are maybe a little bit like entitled to women because of the whole like, oh yeah, I'm providing whatever, I'm a king so I can raise up a queen, but then a queen won't raise up a peasant man. It's like you guys are doing that to yourselves by I guess feeling entitled to like wanting to dominate a woman or be a leader, be a man.
who said anything about domination?
I mean, that's just like
or
that,
based on what he said,
just like the leadership
he
thing. What you
basically
guys,
said that. I mean, and you guys agreed to this. He basically said that, women usually date at their level and above, which is like, that's, you guys want a man who's educated and at your level and above. No woman's really dating like down.
Yeah, and I'm also saying that men shouldn't do that as well. Like you guys are
Men,
complaining.
men don't do that. Men date anyone.
But you guys, you made that analogy of like whatever, a king, whatever, will raise up a peasant woman.
Right.
You said that. So
yes.
That's.
But
the point
there's
I'm
no,
making
but
is
there's
that
nothing there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. That's great if a man wants to help out a woman, but I think the whole argument of like women so badly want to be independent of men because they hate men or like whatever. It's like no, it's not really about you guys. And you guys aren't, men aren't entitled to have a woman just because of your status or whatever, and women can be their own people.
You know what's interesting about that, and this goes back to like a conversation that we may not. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to agree to this, but in my opinion, I just me personally, I really don't care what women have to say, right? What women's opinions are, it really doesn't affect me or my movements, my judgment, my goals, my ambitions, because everything that I deal with in my world is men. Men are the ones at the bank that I'm banking with. Men are I'm speaking to mostly in my world, right? It's just a bunch of men. So when I speak to women, usually it's like if I were to put myself in like a woman's mind, I'm dating down every time I date a chick. It's like I'm dating down. You don't have more money than me. You don't Like if we go through the categories of dating that women choose, not me, right? I'm not saying like me personally. I would express it this way. I'm saying if I were to express it the way women express dating, then I would be dating down. You understand what I'm saying?
So then why don't you as men just date each other? Like the whole like whatever, men are gonna cheat on women thing. Like well, it just seems like you guys don't even like women to begin with. Why don't you just date each other, right?
That's I mean, what makes you think that we're even single? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know. Yeah, I could be married with 3 wives and you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Right. So what I'm saying is it's not that men don't want to date women or We're really talking to from a perspective of, let's say, like, to make it an analogy, it's like we're doctors and we're trying to heal broken hearts, right? And women are walking around with a lot of broken hearts and a perspective of, well, in order for me to not have a broken heart, I got to go to school and become a doctor and get my degree and be independent and make my own money, because I don't want to be under a man, because if I don't have my own money, I can't leave and I got to be stuck with him. And that whole perspective, right? So we're speaking from a perspective of like the best thing for you to.
That's what it's giving. It's like
it is giving that, and you know why?
Like men women having their own money as a way to leave men. It's not about you guys. I want money to buy bags and shoes and things.
But this is
also
the thing.
To like if I am in a situation where I need to leave and it's dangerous because a man is controlling me or wants to control me.
So men are dangerous? Okay, but anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so there you go. So here's the thing. It's not that a man makes money and wants to build a family. A woman makes money and that's not what she wants to do.
That's not true.
Hold on.
That's not true.
Well, you can have your opinion on it, but the reality...
Right. But you can also have your opinion on it
right,
as well.
But this is not... What I'm going to say is not an opinion. This is like reality.
Right, sure.
Okay. The reality is women are not taking care of men on average.
Because men don't want to be taken care of.
But hold on, time out. We have to be very transparent. And I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm very open to what you're saying. But you personally, would you want to take care of a man?
I don't mind it.
Brother, you're asking people.
If I'm rich as fuck,
you're not rich as fuck though. That's the thing. I'm not saying that you're not.
If I were to be,
the reality, like you got to keep it realistic.
Right. No. I'm not saying
it's not unattractive for me to take care of someone.
I'm not saying that you wouldn't mind, because maybe you wouldn't mind. What I'm asking you is, what would you prefer? Let's be real.
I mean,
what would you prefer? Would you prefer to be taking care of a man, or for a man to be taking care of you?
It's like obviously to be taken care of.
All right, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's not my answer. Okay. To be taken care of is easier, right?
Okay.
But like that's not what I prefer. I don't want to.
So you would prefer to take care of somebody?
Yes, I love taking care of people.
You're talking to people who I love doing that. They've never had to go through that. So
Right, the thing
it's
is,
all
You guys are like, oh, women are nurturers, women, whatever,
IQ
are mothers and stuff like this, and don't talk about my IQ.
can talk about whatever you want, though.
So then why can't women take care of men? Like what?
Hold on,
I can
time
take care of children, but I can't take care of men.
Wait, hold on,
Like
time
men
out.
are literally dogs, and men are literally children.
Hold on,
Come
time
on,
out,
let's talk
time
about
out.
that.
When I was mentioning your IQ, I was actually gonna big you up.
Okay.
I was gonna say that your IQ is actually high.
So wait, hold on.
That's what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is
Brother.
that she.
Yo, listen,
You're
hold
trying
on,
to be
hold on.
politically correct.
I'm not trying to be politically correct. This is just me. This is
You
my
rather-
thoughts.
Yo, brother.
Why would I come on this podcast to be politically correct? Like I just want to talk. I want to have a conversation. I
You
find
and I
what you
both
guys
know
are
that
saying
you rather
is
be
interesting.
taken. You and I both know that you'd rather be taken care of than to
What
take care
do
of a
I
man.
get? No, tell me. What do I get out of being politically correct here?
Well,
Tell me.
I'm
You
gonna
get
say
pats-
this.
You get pats on the back. 'Cause
I
you're being
don't
politically
care
correct.
about pats on the back, bitch. I love myself. I don't need that.
Hold on, wait,
Like,
hold on, listen. Because loving yourself and being
Uh-huh.
delusional are two different things. Like you can love yourself.
I'm not delusional. Trust me.
Okay, well, do you want?
I'll answer your question.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah, yeah.
One second, because I really want just this one thing, right? And okay, you're not delusional. All right.
I know I'm 20 and you're like older than me, but
I'm just gonna ask you questions, and then I wanna see where your mind is at, and we're
Okay.
gonna determine whether you may be delusional or not. Okay.
Great.
Okay. So you want to get your career, you want to get your job, blah blah blah. But what is your ideal situation when you're 25 years old? It's in 5
Well,
years.
When I'm 25 years old, I'd love to be, having a career in fashion, successful, be financially stable, living on my own or with roommates, people that I love. I'd love to have like a partner or something like that. I'd love to have pets. I would love to just be living my life when I'm 25.
Okay. What about when you are 30?
I mean, same thing. I would love to just be like an incline.
Would
like
you
just living my best life,
30?
continuing.
Would you like to have? Would you like children one day or no?
I've considered it. I've considered like having children, but I mean, obviously, I'm way too young, I think, to decide that. I think once my brain has fully developed at 25 years old, I will come to a conclusion about how I feel about that. But
On average,
if I were to want to have children, then yeah, I'd want to be in a situation financially where I can provide for them, and also mentally, not pass down like generational trauma, shit like that. Like I'd want to be in a good mindset.
or so. Not sure if you know or agree or whatever, it's in your reality. You know that by the time like a woman is 30, she's more than likely already entered an age where she wants children. Like it's a biological kind of thing where women
Yeah,
at like 30, it's like baby fever type
Yeah.
of situation. So
I'm aware.
so you're an attractive woman. If I had to place my chips, I'd say that you probably are gonna want to have children, and you may most likely probably have children. So almost 99% of women have that procreate. It's like 99% of women that have babies, right? And it's like really a small majority of men that actually have children. It's actually like 23% of men actually procreate. So I would assume you have children. At that point in your life, when you have children, are you going to be paying the bills, splitting it 50-50 with your man at that time specifically? Or are you going to have him pay all the bills? And what kind of lifestyle do you want? Like if you could be specific, like what kind of rent do you think you'll pay? Or what kind of mortgage do you think you'll pay at that time?
I mean, I want to pay the rent, obviously, or a mortgage, whatever, equally. I want to split it with
No,
my
but I'm
partner.
asking like a number. Like what kind of number do you think you'll be paying?
I don't know. I couldn't give you a number now, but point is,
On average, a mortgage is $4,000, like $4,000 to $5,000, just the mortgage, no utility costs, no none of that. So like, on average, I'm just saying, if you had to pay your mortgage, that'd be kind of what you're paying. So what kind of job would you have at that time?
I mean, like I said, the goal is either to be a fashion designer, to have my own business, or I want
How much
be
do fashion
local.
designers like make?
I mean, I couldn't give you a number like off the top of my head because
Mhm.
it depends on where you're working and what type of.
Are you an
fashion.
exceptional fashion designer?
I mean, what do you guys think?
Yes, I mean,
It
I'm-
is. It's real good.
I've literally done like 3 fashion shows.
Me,
So.
me
So-
and Patty
so-
modeled her clothes. Like
Yes.
they the shit.
I bought that shit.
At Garments by, oh yeah, she literally bought
I
one of my
literally did,
things.
and I'll do it again.
Period.
Real
Garments
quick.
by Garcelle.
Real quick,
Yeah.
I just because we're almost at 4
Yeah.
hours, but
Yeah.
I know everybody's getting restless. Can anybody else answer my question? Like, and this is the time for you guys to go in. Give me one thing, Sarah, that you wish men would understand more about women, and you can't give me her answer. Give me something different.
I just wish men would, in general, like stop forming opinions about what the fuck women are doing. Obviously, it's been a political problem as well. I'm not gonna go into that because that's a whole different debate
So we don't have time for
that we definitely don't have time for. But I think we need to stop forming opinions about other people, and that's what's wrong with all of these problems like body positivity, all these little things that we're having in the world. Like it's okay to have your opinions, but like being so vocal about them to the point where you're so passionate about what the fuck women are doing, I feel like you shouldn't be so concerned about something that has nothing to really do with you.
Period.
And last time I checked, you guys don't identify as females, so if that changes, maybe speak your mind, but until then,
So only
I don't think it's important for
only
you.
women can speak about women issues, in your opinion.
I don't think like topics like these, I don't think it's necessary. Like again, like everyone can have their own opinions about things, but being so vocal about them, I don't think it's very necessary. No, especially when like most of it feels a little bit rooted in negativity, like saying that like women like maybe that they shouldn't go to college, that they should be under someone, that doesn't feel great to
Like
hear.
women shouldn't vote, something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I don't think women should vote. I think that's a horrible thing. If you are gonna vote, I think you guys should equally be drafted.
Okay, Patty, what do you have to say about yours?
I was just gonna say that I feel like men should understand about women is that we do like emotionally vulnerable men. Like we do like men who show their emotion and who are romantic and enthusiastic like about their feelings and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of like now being a simp is like so-called bad, but it's like having like being in tune with your emotions is very attractive, and I feel like that's like
So
a thing
you
that
want a man to cry to you?
I would feel
Absolutely.
yeah.
They
We
do.
already,
we
already talked
took-
about this.
So
Yeah.
so listen,
Wait,
this,
real
about this
quick.
again.
So real quick. The last men you were with, and you don't have to go into details. Did they cry to you? Were they?
Absolutely, and I hugged
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
And I found it so attractive. I
And
really
where
did.
and where are these men at now?
nowhere
They're
to be.
still my life.
He's
They
with
are?
his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
Okay,
listen,
they're
so-
not with you. Okay,
But check
so,
this out.
yeah.
Check this out,
All
brother.
right,
You
It
know what?
didn't work out for reasons not because they cried. It
Okay.
worked out because of other reasons.
Well,
Yeah,
I promise you
and
that.
fruit.
I
No.
promise you, whether you know it or not, that was one of the reasons why.
We're literally
for-
humans. Like, what do you want to do? Like,
Just say
I
you're
don't.
emotionally unintelligent.
Listen, this is the thing.
You think that's emotional
I think
intelligence?
that. I
to
think,
not cry. Absolutely.
Yes,
if you can't express
100%.
your emotions, you are not
no,
intelligent enough.
don't
your
get it
emotions
twisted.
are.
Don't get it twisted. I think that men should cry, but I don't think that you should be crying to your woman. I think that you should be crying to your boys.
That's
Why?
your partner,
it's a
though.
partner-
But
That's your
listen,
partner.
listen. Hear me out.
You mean
Men-
you're
listen.
closer to your friends than your partner?
It's
That
not
doesn't
even.
make sense.
It's not even about that. But your experience as a woman and my experience as a man are two different things. So you get it. You wake up in the morning getting dolled up and getting catcalled. I don't know how that feels. Just like you don't know how it feels to be a man. So why am I gonna cry to my girl when I can cry to Rod or one of my boys, uplift myself, and then come back to you like, babe, don't worry about it. I'm good.
The
But-
beauty of a relationship is being able to understand each other despite not knowing or like having experienced that thing. That's called like empathy.
going
I-
through it with your partner through the good and the bad.
And I agree with you both, but this is the thing. Me as a man, and I could be wrong with you two, but I feel like you're going to feel more secure in me knowing that, okay, I know my man's going through something. He might not disclose everything, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he said that he's all right, and he's all right.
You know what I think?
That's it.
I think, and go ahead. I know you wanted to say.
Oh,
something.
I
Sorry.
was gonna say I feel like this is all ties into that. It's like we're expressing like us women are expressing what we want men to know, and so this is just like what we as women want, and we're showing you what we want, and that's like I feel like that's like a big premise that I feel like that guys need to understand that, or like that I feel like I would hope that you could like listen and understand is that this is just like I'm answering your question. It's just like it's what we want. It's not like okay, you can assume that what we want, but this is like we're literally
literally
telling
telling
you
you.
what we want.
Go ahead, Q. You were gonna say something.
I mean, I think it was what you were saying. I feel like it all just comes back down to communication, like you said earlier. Like guy friendships, like you will get cussed the fuck out, and sometimes when you cry, sometimes you just need to be supported and comforted. Sometimes I don't need to get cussed out. Sometimes I just want to cry and just have someone be there and be like, it's okay. Sometimes because I had this problem with my old roommate because he would come to me about stuff, and sometimes he would need me to support him instead of give him advice. So I was like, shoot. Sometimes I need Winnie the Pooh. Sometimes I need Fix It Felix. It depends. Like it's not gonna be the same for every situation. And with that, I will say the answer to your question. I can't speak from women's perspective, but just in general, just like
From your perspective.
Just be honest and really take the time to listen to the person you're dealing with, because I feel like a lot of it is just you're listening, but you're figuring out what you want to say back. Sometimes just listen and take it in and just absorb what was said and then think about it. That's all you need to do.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that. I think Q is the wisest of us all. So I appreciate everyone for being here. I think that we expressed our opinions and our ideas. We could definitely dig deeper into all the things that we talked about. There's a lot to continue to speak on, and it's always interesting. And if you guys have any final words, you guys want to give a shout out to your people or whatever, anything.
Just thank you for having us, or thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely, it was a pleasure. It was an honor. Yeah, I think you guys are all intelligent. Listen, we may not agree on everything, but I respect you guys. I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys for being here. And I hope that I get to see you guys again. So thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Really nice to
All right, guys. Peace.
Holla.